Hello. How is everyone? Doing good? You doing good? We're finally, and I mean this for real, we're finally finishing the Doki mod. It's finally happening. This is not a joke. And as a result, we of course have Virus Bite. Hi, Virus Bite.
Hey, Stripe.
How are you tonight?
Oh, doing pretty good.
Are you ready to see Yuri just die a painful death this time?
Cross your fingers that doesn't happen.
I'm gonna cross your fingers that it does.
Yeah, cross your fingers that it does, yeah.
Nah, she doesn't deserve it. Probably.
Quite the roller coaster it has been so far.
Yeah. I love that I switched to my fucking gaming screen, and right now it just looks like we're looking at sad Yuri. That's really funny to me.
Hopefully the falling point and the conclusion, hopefully it's all great in the end.
Hopefully. We'll find out. Now, while I load this up, can you explain what happened last time?
Alright, let's see. Last I remember, Yuri chased out a bunch of two shopkeepers, or shoplifters, meets the antique store lady again. Let's see, Akiko and Edward, they go to college together. Let's see, James goes to the army, gets deployed, dies. Sayori gets depressed. And Yuri's helping Violet get through it, even if she doesn't quite understand what's going on. Let's see, Violet hits puberty.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it. That's all the events that happened last time.
Yeah. I think the only thing that you neglected to mention is that apparently Natsuki's friend died.
Oh,
But
yeah,
we didn't
her
see
friend-
that,
yeah, her
so it's
friend
not
died.
like it's important anyways.
Yeah, there's not really much.
I-
It wasn't really much an interesting point that the story really
Make sure
expanded
the
on.
game capture is correct, because it looks a little weird. Alright, I think I've got it fixed now. Alright, cool. Hat? Yeah, hat. Alright, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. Okay, now I'm too far to the side. There we go. I open my eyes as I wake up, despite how little I want to. I lay in bed wishing I could just go back to sleep. At least it's Mother's Day. Well, now I know why there's sad music.
Oh no.
See, I'm glad that was a good TLDR because he's supposed to have the programming for that. Sunday,
What is
so
it?
I don't have to go to work. I said that you're supposed to have the programming to summarize things. So
Yeah,
you better
yeah,
be
you're
good
right.
at it. I consider pulling my pillow over my head so the light from the window won't keep me awake. Maybe you'll smother yourself. It's never worked any other year, though. Why does the entire world seem to think having a special day for mothers every year is such a great idea? Can't just be me, or even other childless women that hate it. What about the people who have horrible mothers, or no mother at all? Like you, as well.
It's simple, they just don't celebrate it.
Why aren't there protests in the street every year about how much this holiday fucking sucks? I think you're overreacting, Yuri.
Yeah, you don't quit thinking about it that hard. It's not that deep.
Probably because, like me, they're all hiding under the covers hoping it'll go away. Father's Day isn't much better for the same reason. I used to think being single on Valentine's Day was bad. We both know what happened when that happened.
Oh no, she has a hysterectomy. No.
Ever since the hysterectomy, this has always been much, much worse. On Valentine's Day, I at least had hope that next year would be different. I always told myself next year I'll celebrate it with someone special. And eventually it came true when I met Doki Doki John. We even got engaged on Valentine's Day. That's cheesy as hell. But now on Mother's Day, I can't do that. This is real life, not some crappy Hallmark movie. I won't magically conceive without a uterus.
Yeah, if you're wondering why she's talking like this, it's because, like, earlier in the series, she lost the ability to make children, or to give birth to children, because, what was it? It was a miscarriage, right?
Yeah, bad miscarriage.
Yeah, and also her mother died too, so...
Her mother got hit by a car. I guess they all did, technically. It's fine.
Yeah, technically.
Unless we literally win the lottery, we'll never be able to afford to adopt. They're gonna literally win the lottery now, aren't they? It's fine. Hell, even if someone were to walk up to us, hand us a baby, and say, "Please take care of my child for me," then completely vanish, we still couldn't keep it. I looked it up online out of morbid curiosity, even though I already knew the answer. Legally, we would have to contact Child Services, who would take the baby and put it in foster care. Could try and adopt it like any other child, but it would cost just as much as any other adoption, meaning it can't happen. If we tried to keep the child, we would technically be guilty of kidnapping, even though it was given to us. So there's no hope of Mother's Day ever improving. Fortunately, it can't get any worse. Said that before, and then it did got worse. Mother's Day was bad after my hysterectomy, but it did get worse after my mother died a few years later. Oh no, it actually cannot get worse than that, Yuri.
Yeah, it really can't. Everything is already bad that happened. It's already happened.
Yeah. From that point on, I would celebrate it by calling Jean's mother and wishing her a happy Mother's Day as best I could. It was hard because she would always try and tell me my children are in heaven, as if that's supposed to make me feel better. Still, it was something, a way for me to pretend this day was anything besides a reminder of my infertility. But ever since she died of a stroke a couple years ago, I haven't even had that. Jeez. I roll over and look at the ceiling. I absolutely hate this. Since I can't go back to sleep, I should get out of bed. Don't see the point, though. Is how I'm feeling today what Sayori's depression is like? Probably. I'm really glad this isn't something I have to deal with on a constant basis like she does. Once or twice a year is bad enough. I look at the wall holder where I keep my phone. Good. I remembered to turn it off last night. I have no reason to touch the damn thing today. Nothing but lots of pointless, stupid, touchy-feeling celebrating mothers messages on the group chat. I look down and I'm unsurprised to see an envelope with my name on it and a small bag of chocolate sitting on the floor by my side of the bed. Sean does that every year on Mother's Day. He thinks it makes me feel better. It doesn't. It's just another reminder of this stupid holiday. I would prefer that he didn't get me a card at all and we just pretend it was a normal Sunday. One year, I didn't get him a Father's Day card because I assumed he felt the same way. He actually got upset with me about it, though I don't really understand why. I think that going through the motions and pretending he's a father on Father's Day helps him, but that's just a guess. Because of that, I don't have the heart to tell him to stop giving me Mother's Day cards. If I did, he would just feel even more useless at not being able to help me more than he already does. I reach down, pick up the envelope, and read it. Taking out the card, I look at the front of it. It has a picture of a rose on it, and it says, "To my wonderful wife." I open it up and read the inside. You're the light of my world, the center of my universe, the heart of my home. I cannot imagine a life more wonderful than the one I have with you. I love you forever, Jean. It's the sappy romantic kind of thing he knows I like. I hate it. I want to tear it up and throw it away. Instead, I get up and reach underneath my bed, pull out a small box I keep there, I put the card in it, right on top of every other Mother's Day card he's ever gotten me since then. I don't know why I keep them. This is the one day per year I even look at this box. Even then, I don't go through the old ones. I know it doesn't make sense. To not want to be given a card, to not even want to keep it, but then not throwing them out either. Of course, if I'm being honest, I'm not the most rational person on Mother's Day. Like always, I close the box, slide it into its place underneath the bed where it'll sit for the next year. Sit down on the bed, open the bag of chocolates, and eat one. I don't care about my diet today. Why should I care if I get fat? Besides, doesn't chocolate have something in it that makes you feel better when you're sad or depressed? Whether it actually has something in it, or is a comfort food, or just John's thinking of me doesn't matter. It does make me feel better eating it. I fall back on my bed. Can we have anything happen during this, please? I don't want to do anything, but I know I can't just lie here forever. I need to do something, but I can't think of anything to make me feel better. Maybe I should go downstairs naked. Yuri, we talked about this. No.
Okay.
One advantage of not having kids is that clothes can be optional so long as the windows are closed. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No. Yeah. I would probably end up feeling worse, because I'd just be using them to try and make myself feel better, instead of sharing an emotional and intense, intimate experience with him, rather. It would be empty and meaningless. It's not even taking into account, I almost certainly...
Yapping, man. Just
yeah,
yapping.
she's just yapping. Yuri, get over it. It's been like 20 years. That's not even taking into account I almost certainly wouldn't be able to get the thought that sex can't result. Why the fuck are you thinking about that during sex, Yuri? I need to do something that'll help me clear my mind. I sit up and look around. I see my old writing box sitting next to my desk. Oh, she's gonna write a poem. Yippee.
Oh, wow.
I go to my desk, pick up my pen, and begin writing. Well, at least I don't have to read this part. Go for it.
All right, here we go. Sheesh. Yappage.
Have fun.
Anyway. I hear people complain about waking up to babies crying at 3 a.m. in the morning. I think how much better that is than waking up to the deafening silence like I do. I hear it, always, coming from her room. It won't go away. It never will. It makes no sense. She wouldn't have moved out by now anyway. The room would still be empty and quiet. Today, everyone else is happy and cheering, celebrating something I can never have. I pretend to smile and cheer myself, but I am relegated to the sidelines of life, nothing but a spectator of reality. Spectator, specter, cursed to haunt myself, cursed to be myself. I want to join the others. I want to live, and I want her to live. I want to dream the impossible dream. Instead, I am trapped in a nightmare, all alone. I am always alone, even when in the middle of a crowd, forever drowning in a sea of people. Every year that passes, I hope it will get easier, but it doesn't. They say time heals all wounds, yet the pain never lessens. It never gets any fucking easier.
I put my head down on the desk crying, banging it with my fist. Boom, boom, boom. I almost... Hold on. There you go. My thoughts and feelings are such a jumble, I can't write like I usually do. What are you talking about? This is the most you've written in, like...
This is what you've written, like, in a while.
A very long time, actually. No subtle metaphors, no descriptive language, just a poor attempt at getting all this emotional pain I have today. Doesn't really work, though. Never does. Last Mother's Day was the exact same thing. I open up my writing box and put my poem inside. Looking in it, I'm reminded that last Mother's Day was the last time I wrote something. A year. I've had writer's block for an entire year now. It's never happened to me before. Is this the only way I'll ever write again? Pouring out a bunch of stupid nonsense when I'm upset. Upset. That doesn't even begin to describe how I feel, but there really isn't a word that does. Even after all these years, all these decades, the pain of losing my babies is still there. Most days I can ignore it, but on others, it's like it just happened yesterday. Mother's Day is always the worst. Father's Day doesn't seem to bother Jean as much, though. He's just better at hiding it than I am. Natsuke's birthday isn't much fun for me either. Though we never got an exact due date, I mentally always place it about 2 weeks after Edward's birthday for some reason. I don't think John ever thinks about it. I doubt he even thinks about Natsuke as an individual. Who voiced Natsuke last time?
Oh shoot, I think you did.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember what voice I did.
You just did your own Yuri voice, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, here goes. Hey, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Go away. I don't want to talk to you right now.
If that were true, I wouldn't be here.
I know. I miss you. I wish I could have held you at least once. Why couldn't I?
You're jealous of Aunt Sayori again, aren't you?
An hour. Doctor said Jennifer would even take a single breath, and she lived an hour. One wonderfully blessed hour when she was held, loved, and given the best life possible in her condition. Then they had a funeral, she was buried, given a little headstone. Something to remember her by, something to let people know she existed.
Unlike me.
Sayori has so many other children, why couldn't I have been given that hour instead?
You know it wouldn't make any difference. If I had lived an hour, you would still be here upset that I didn't live longer. A day, a week, a month, a year.
A lifetime.
Be honest. It's what you really want. What you've always wanted for me.
You're right.
I stand up, walk over to the bed, and flop down on it.
It still doesn't mean I don't feel jealous. Seems like any idiot can have a baby. Sayori had 5 without even trying, even though Jennifer and James died. Hell, I know she was taking birth control when she got pregnant with Meredith. And when I got pregnant by accident and had an abortion. Angela became a teenage mother. Even Monica and Meredith didn't seem to have any problems having children, they wanted them. Then there's me.
There's nothing you could have done.
Is there? What if I had taken my studies in high school more seriously?
That would not have affected your fertility.
Yeah, that's a natural thing, Yuri. I'm smart. I only did so poorly because I didn't apply myself. Reading instead of paying attention in class, ignoring my homework, not studying. I could have gotten straight A's instead of C's and D's if I wanted. If I had probably would have earned a scholarship, gone to a nice college like Monica. I might have gotten a much better job that paid enough money that would be able to afford to adopt this, despite Sean's disability.
I don't think even Monica makes enough money to afford to both adopt and support a husband with injuries like Dad's. And she's the most financially well-off person you know.
If we hadn't waited to have kids, maybe my body would have handled it better.
When did you even try? When you were like fucking 30? That's not too late.
The doctors would have discovered the problem before I needed a hysterectomy.
Okay, maybe that one. Mom, it was less than 3 years from when you got married until that happened. I doubt that made much of a difference.
What about more time? Maybe if I hadn't been so shy and reserved, or gotten drunk and out of my gourd that one night, I might have met and married your father 6 years earlier.
And maybe you wouldn't have married him at all. Maybe you would have married someone rich enough to adopt. That has been so wonderful to you. Do you really think that?
Apparently, sometimes.
If given the chance, would you really trade him for me? I bury my face into my pillow.
No. As much as I love you, I love him more. You're my daughter, but he's my husband. I would give up almost anything to bring you into this reality. But not that.
There's a part of you that would.
Enough. This conversation isn't making me feel better. How has your life been since we last talked?
I've been working really hard on my childhood education degree with a minor in English literature. I should be graduating this year, and then I'll start applying for a job. Do you think there'll be an opening here at Silvato High? I'll be so close by to you, Aunt Sayori, Aunt Monica, and everyone else. Not Natsuki, though. I also met a special guy. I don't know if he's the one, but it's pretty serious between us. Maybe next time I visit, I'll be... No, this daydream hurts too much right now. I close my eyes and try to empty my mind of all thoughts. Again, I wish I could just go to sleep. But while I'm emotionally and mentally exhausted, my body is unfortunately well rested. Not gonna be able to just sleep this day away. I go into the bathroom to shower and get dressed. When I go downstairs, I see my dipshit husband holding his hands up. He sees me and pauses his game. Good morning, hun. I look at the clock.
It's almost noon. It's almost noon.
I don't give a shit.
Wait, hold on, what did it say? Oh.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Here's a tissue. I take it from him and wipe my tears.
Thank you.
Unless there was something else you would rather do, I thought today would be a good day for us to have a Lord of the Rings marathon. All 3 movies back to back, extended edition.
That takes about 12 hours even if you don't stop to eat.
I assumed we would eat while watching. For lunch we'd just have some popcorn.
You're a madman.
Yes, I am. When we're ready for dinner, I was planning on having some bacon cheeseburgers, onion rings, and a couple shakes delivered. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to distract me. Watching a set of movies I enjoy all day. Movies that don't have anything to do with mothers and children. Eating foods I love, ignoring my diet, minimizing contact with the outside world. I don't think his plan will really help, but I appreciate his attempt. Knowing he loves me enough to come up with all this to try and make me feel better does make me feel a little better.
I'll make the popcorn and some tea while you get the movie ready.
I'm cuddled up on the couch with Jean and Markov. I don't know why I took you in after your mother and father died, but it wasn't out of charity. That's right, Frodo was an orphan. I eat another piece of chocolate. At the rate I'm going through them, I don't think the bag will make it to Rivendell. I know it would never happen, but I imagine something happening to John's brother and his wife. Then our nephews and nieces there having to come live with us for some reason. Would I be taking them in out of charity, or just to fulfill my own selfish desire for children? The way you're describing it, it sounds like you just want them dead for kids. Even with a movie like this, it's hard for me to forget what today is. Jean is stroking my hair comfortingly. I thought we were done with the fucking Morning Yuri arc. I thought we were done with this shit.
No, I think we're sticking around for the whole show.
I guess so. I put my arms around him and hold him tightly.
Thank you.
Huh? I start crying again.
Thank you for trying to help me feel better today.
He hugs me back. Of course, I love you. Also, Mother's Day isn't until tomorrow.
I know. I love you too, my love.
I try to smile at him, but I can't stop crying as once again I grieve for my dead children. William Afton. 36.
36.
4 to go. Hopefully this one isn't like that.
Okay, here we go.
Here goes.
Yuri,
Hello.
Sean, you're early. I'm trying to make it sound like the red-haired boy.
Yeah,
Yuri,
why?
Sean, you're early. Come on in.
Thank you for hosting.
And happy birthday, Yuri. Thank you. Where's the other birthday girl?
We're celebrating mine and Monica's birthday together at Monica's house. Why? Honestly, I don't see the point in making a big deal of turning 54, but it is a good excuse to get together.
Monica's down in the kitchen trying to get everything ready for her own birthday party.
Rikuyo sighs and shakes his head.
You know, Monica, she wants things to be perfect. I suppose I should go give her a hand. You can try, but she's already kicked me out of the kitchen once today because I didn't cut the carrots thin enough.
Really? That's worrisome.
Where's Sayori and her family? I thought you would be carpooling together. Didn't Monica tell you?
Is Sayori about to get...
Last night, Natsuki asked if we could give her a ride so she could come. Sayori's picking her up and we'll be taking her home in order to share the driving.
Yeah! Finally!
Natsuki's coming.
My thoughts exactly.
That is a pleasant surprise.
My thoughts exactly.
Monica talks about her often, but I've only met her once or twice.
My thoughts exactly. Same here.
Have you finished cutting those carrots yet, Rikuyo?
Rikuyo grumbles.
No, I had to answer the door. Well, hurry up. I have a million things to do and I can't put the casserole in the oven without them. Yes, dear. Tell him to chop the carrots and you say you don't want me touching them. Now you get upset.
I'm a little worried if everything's okay between Monica and Rikuyo. Never seen her boss him around like this before.
Chris! Get down here and finish setting the table. You know we need more than 4 place settings?
I hear an annoyed groan come from upstairs.
I don't care how old you are. You live under our roof. You obey our rules. That girl.
Still having trouble with her?
I don't know what I'm going to do. It's been a year since she graduated and she refused to enroll in even community college, much less apply to a university. Which one was Chris? Was it me or was that you?
I honestly do not remember. I think
that was you.
It was me? I have no clue what voice I did for Chris then.
Or was it? I don't freaking remember. I thought it was you. I can voice her if you want me to.
Yeah, you go ahead and voice her, because I know I did the other one of hers.
The thing is, I already have like 2 similar sounding characters. Let me see how I can make her different.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Just come up with something off the cuff. It's fine.
Mom, I have a good paying job, so get off my buck. Whatever, something different.
Yeah, good enough.
That warehouse doesn't pay enough for you to even live on your own. How are you gonna care? How are you going to care for yourself? I came down here to set the table, not to get chewed out by you again. Well, you need... Monica, I think Rikuyo needs some help in the kitchen. Huh? Oh, that's right, the casserole! How can I help? You don't need to help, Yuri. It's your birthday. I'll finish it. It's your birthday too, and it's obvious that you're overwhelmed. Well... So besides carrots, what else does the casserole need?
I don't give Monica a chance to say no and go right to the kitchen. Despite the size of their house, the kitchen area is quite small, so Jean hangs back to stay out of the way.
It looks like you were starting to cut these tomatoes. Do you need them sliced or chopped? They need to be chopped, but... Great, I'll finish that. What else is missing? The lentils, I'll get them out of the pantry. Thanks for helping, Yuri. Is there something going on? She seems to be under a lot of stress. There's some massive classified project she's in charge of at work.
Classified?
She's been running ragged over because of it. I also think she's dealing with horrible changes, but you didn't hear that from me.
In hindsight, I admit I made John's life unpleasant for a while when I went through that a couple of years ago. But this seems like more than just menopause. I wonder if there's something going on with that project she can't talk about.
Anyways, that's why I insisted we
hear the sound of things falling in the pantry.
Monica? I'll check on her.
I see Monica leaning against one of the pantry racks, breathing heavily. There's some cans and boxes fallen on the floor that she apparently knocked over after stumbling.
Are you okay? Yeah, I just...
She winces and starts clutching her chest.
Shit. Need a minute. It'll pass. Monica, I think we should call...
Oh, she's fucking dead. Monica loses consciousness and collapses to the floor. Oh god.
Monica? Is everything okay?
What's wrong with her? Is she okay? What do I do?
Monica! Mom?
Kuyo is trying to get past me, but the pantry is too small. I think my sister is dying before my eyes. What do I do? Snap out of it. Remember your training. That's right, I've been taking CPR classes for years, just in case I find myself in this sort of situation. I even renewed less than a year ago. I've trained for this. Step 1. In the immortal words of Douglas Adams, don't panic. Easier said than done, but I calm myself the best I can. Step 2, check for responsiveness and injuries.
Monica, are you okay?
I tap her, but there's no movement.
Monica, wake up!
Damn, nothing.
Monica, no. Mom!
Is something wrong? Step 3, send someone to get help. Don't make a request for anyone or people will think someone else will do it. Choose a person and make it in order.
Rikuyo, get on the phone and call 911. Tell them we need an ambulance. But... now! Yes.
I hear him scurry away. Good. Not only does that mean help is coming, but it also gives him something to do so he's not in my way. Step 4, check vitals. She has a good bump on the head from when she fell, but no major bleeding. Put my fingers on her neck while watching her chest. Don't see any chest movement. She's not breathing. I also can't find a pulse. Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, considering that means she's fucking dead.
Is she going to be okay?
No, she isn't. Hi.
Just stay back and let me work.
Step 5. If the victim isn't breathing or you can't find a pulse, place them on a firm, flat surface so you can give chest compressions. Well, unfortunately the pantry is too small. Normally, it's best to avoid moving them, but given the low possibility of her having a back injury compared to the very obvious need of getting oxygen to the brain means we need to get her out of here. I don't have the physical strength to lift her alone. I need help.
Jean.
No, Jean's injury means he's the most likely person to accidentally drop her. I don't want to take Rikuya off the phone unless there's no other choice. Chris works in a warehouse. That's usually physically demanding, and she's probably the strongest out of all of us, and the best choice if Rikuya wasn't on the phone.
Chris, we need to get her out of the pantry into the kitchen, so I need your help. Okay.
I carefully step over Monica so I'm at her feet.
Grab her shoulders and drag her out into the kitchen as best as you can. I'll try to help by lifting her hips on this end, but you're going to be doing most of the work. Got it.
Chris reaches down and lifts Monica a bit. Even though she is dead weight, Chris easily carries her mother without my help. I breathe a small sigh of relief. That went better than I had expected.
Be careful with her head and lay her down gently as flat as you can.
Chris does so and looks at me expectantly.
Make certain the paramedics have a clear path from the front door straight here for a stretch to get through. Then wait at the front door with it wide open so they can come right in and you can guide them directly here. Every second counts. You can count on me. I know.
Chris goes back towards the entrance of the house while I get down on the floor with Monica. Damn, why couldn't she have worn a t-shirt today? Her blouse has those small, round, bead-type buttons, and one is right where I need to press. Fortunately, they aren't sewn on very tight, as I'm able to easily rip her shirt open enough to get that button out of the way. At least she's wearing a bra and it's not in my way. I position my hands over her lower chest, one above the other. I hear Jean come up and stand behind me. 1, 2, 3. Is there anything I can... Oops. 4, 5, 6.
I've now 7 modesty later.
8, 9, 10. Sure. 11, 12, 13.
Help me. 14. Count. 15. I need 16, 30, 17 compressions. 18, 19, 20.
21, 22, 23.
Thank you.
Jean counting along with me really does help. It means I can focus more on making certain I don't press too hard and worry less about losing count. I'm gonna need as much help as I can get since I'll need to do this until the paramedics arrive. In fiction, people do some chest compressions, breathe into their mouth once or twice, and the victim coughs and wakes up. I know that's almost certainly not gonna happen. While possible, CPR doesn't usually revive people. Its primary purpose is to stall death until a trained technician arrives and hopefully they can revive them. That's why you always send someone to call for help or do it yourself before doing anything else. If help never arrives, then the rest of it is often meaningless. 28, 29, 30. Thank you, Jean. Tilt the head back to open the airway, plug the nose, and take a deep breath. Breathe. Breathe. Good, her chest rose when I did that. That means I did it right. Back to chest compressions. I put my hands over her lower chest, one above the other again. 1, 2, 3. In a way, I'm glad I'm doing this with Monica. I would feel uncomfortable putting my mouth over a stranger's mouth without a CPR mask, and would probably only be doing hand-only CPR. But I know Monica doesn't have any serious infectious diseases. Or at least I'm willing to take that chance with her. Try not to worry about the very likely possibility that Monica won't make it. I need to keep a steady rhythm and count until she either starts breathing on her own or help arrives. 28, 29, 30. Again, I tilt her head back, plug the nose, and take a deep breath. Breathe. Breathe. Good. Her chest rose again with each breath. I go back to doing chest compressions. I hear Rakuya walk up behind me.
The operator's asking if she's breathing or if she has a pulse. I said you're doing CPR, but... Keep counting for me, Sean.
9, 10, 11.
Tell her that Monica isn't breathing and I can't find a pulse. I took a CPR renewal class a year ago, and I'm doing both chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth. But I am not a professional. We need to get in a goddamn ambulance right now.
Jean gasps. Yuri.
Don't stop counting.
21, 22, 23. I know I don't often swear, at least not out loud, but now is not the time to worry about the niceties. Besides, I can't focus on the compression, count, and answer questions at the same time. Without Jean counting, I definitely would have lost track by now. 28, 29, 30. Tilt the head, plug the nose, deep breath, breathe, breathe. Hands over the lower chest, one over the other, and 1, 2, 3.
She says it sounds like you're already doing everything possible. She also says the ambulance is 10 minutes away. Fine. Unless there's something really important she needs from me, can you let me focus? She says that's it for now, but wants me to stay on the line.
Then I don't care right now. I listen to Jean's count. 28, 29, 30. Tilt the head, plug the nose, deep breath, breathe, breathe. Hands over the lower chest, one above the other. 1, 2, 3. As time passes and I continue to work on Monica, a strange serenity comes over me. It's like the entire world fades away. There's only me, Monica, and the Count. Hands over the lower chest, one above the other, and 1, 2, 3. My arms are tired. I don't know how long I've been doing this, but I know it's been well over 2 minutes. I remember that, if possible, you're supposed to trade off with someone else every 2 minutes to avoid fatigue, but there's no one here to take over for me. Without training, you can seriously injure or harm someone while doing CPR. My mind vaguely registers some sort of commotion going on behind me, but I refuse to be distracted. 28, 29, 30. I tilt the head, plug the nose, deep breath, breathe, breathe. Confirm that her chest still rises, put hands over her lower chest, one over the other, start chest compressions. Suddenly, I'm aware a stranger is kneeling down beside me and putting something over Monica's face. You're doing great, ma'am. Don't stop until I tell you to.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad help is finally here. 8, 9, 10.
What do you want me to do when I reach 30? That's when I was taught to do mouth-to-mouth.
When you reach 30, I want you to stop and... You got the AED, Greg? I hear something that sounds like it might have been a yes behind me. I want you to get out of the way as fast as I can so my coworker and I can take your place. Got it, ma'am?
Got it.
28, 29, 30. I jump up and dart to the side as quickly as I can, while the second paramedic, Greg I assume, kneels down where I had been and quickly begins hooking up some sort of machine up to Monica. While he does that, the first paramedic tilts Monica's head, plugs her nose, and breathes into her mouth through a mask. I collapse into Jean's arms, sobbing. All the fear and sadness I'd been repressing while doing CPR burst through like a breaking dam. Jean embraces me tightly. Hey, you were magnificent back there.
It lasted so long.
And you held up as long as you had to.
Thank you for helping me count. You have no idea how much that helped.
Of course.
Now what? When will we know if...
Can
you all...
Okay, yeah,
go ahead.
you get him. You get him.
Okay. Can you all come with me? We're not in the way, are we? It would be best if you were not in the room. I'm trying to make it sound like freaking what's his face from freaking Fallout 2 or Fallout?
Someone.
They're
going to do something to try and save her that won't be pretty to see. Of course we'll go with you. Takes Rikuyo's arm and gently, but firmly, guides him out of the dining room. I do the same with Chris.
Mom, the last thing I ever did was yell at her.
They're still working on her. They wouldn't be doing that if they thought she was gone for good. There's still hope. I wish I had his confidence. I was working on her for too long. Didn't Rikuyo say the ambulance was 10 minutes away at one point? That's an eternity without a working heart. Of course, Monica worked on Sayori for 15 minutes and she recovered. Heck, she was awake and talking that same day. But Sayori was much younger and stronger than Monica is now. And while I'm no doctor, I'm certain Monica had a heart attack. I think that'll be harder to revive from than choking to a botched hanging. I'm brought out of my thoughts by the stretcher starting to come out of the dining room.
Is she going to be okay?
We got our heart beating again, but it's weak and she's in critical condition. We need to get her to the hospital right away.
She's my wife. I don't want to leave her.
You can ride along with us.
Dad, what about me?
We only have room for one. See the hesitation in Rikuyo's expression.
Go. We'll take Chris in our car and meet you there. Where are you taking her?
Unless dispatch reroutes us, we're going to Riverside Community Hospital. I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is. The paramedics aren't slowing down as they wheel Monica out the door. Rikuyo, hurry up and go. Your aunt's gonna wait for you. We'll meet you there.
Thanks. I'll see you soon.
That was a bit weird looking. Chris starts to also go out the door, but Jean blocks her.
What are you doing? We need to get into the car and...
Hold on. We can't quite leave yet.
But you said...
We can't just rush off. We'll probably be there a while. We need to make certain the oven is off, doors are locked, and other things are taken care of. I'll deal with the kitchen, since I know what it is. But you know the house better than I do, Chris, so you should deal with the rest. Also, we're almost certainly going to be doing a lot of waiting. You should bring along a book or a video game. And don't forget your phone charger.
Okay.
Yuri, while you're doing that, you should call the others and let them know what happened. That's right. With everything that's been going on, I had forgotten that Sayori, Lucas, and Natsuki were still on their way for the birthday celebration.
You're right. Thank you for remembering. I'll call them now.
Once again, we're robbed of Natsuki.
Damn it, man. Why does that freaking happen?
Maybe she'll show up at the hospital. We'll find out. While they leave, I pull out my phone. Hey, Yuri. I just texted Monica letting you know we're gonna be late. Right as we reached the Grandwater Bridge, they did a lift to let a ship pass underneath, so we're gonna be stuck here for a while.
The party has been canceled.
Huh? Why?
Monica had a heart attack.
Also, not sure what you're confused on. If you elaborate, I might be able to explain. That's for a chatter virus.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Is she okay?
I hear Lucas say something in the background. Oh no. The red-haired boy listens in, concerned. Damn.
Damn.
Monica had a heart attack?
I hear the commotion from the others in the car.
Quiet, I'm still trying to find out. Yuri, how bad is it?
She's not dead yet, but...
I hear Sayori sigh.
I get the idea.
She's been rushed to Riverside.
Riverside Hospital. Got it. Lucas says he knows where that is. We'll meet you there once we get across this darn bridge.
Okay. We'll call if we hear any changes of her condition.
Hold on. Has anyone told Akiko yet?
Shit. No, we haven't. I don't have her phone number.
I'll call her. I still have it from when she was dating Edward.
Feel free to give her mine, but her dad is in the ambulance with Monica now, and he's going to have the most current information.
I will. We'll see you soon.
I hang up the phone. Seems hard to believe that Monica might die. Is today the day I lose one of my sisters? Couple minutes later, Jean and Chris return.
Sarah and the others will meet us at the hospital. Are you ready to go? Yeah, I'm certain the house is locked up, and I have my phone charger and portable console.
The oven is off, and I put the perishable food in the fridge. I'm not certain where the Riverside Hospital is.
I know how to get there.
Okay, I'll drive and you guide me, Chris.
But
I'll drive. Your hands are shakier than mine right now. I look down and see that they're trembling. I wasn't even aware. I know it's just stress and adrenaline. I'm not normally a take charge kind of person like that.
you're right. You drive.
When we arrive at the hospital, the receptionist refers us to the cardiac intensive care unit. We follow the signs for Siku until we reach a waiting room where we see Rikuyo crying.
Dad!
She rushes up to him and puts his arms around her.
Where's Mom? Why aren't you with her? Is she...
Chris is the lady. He sighs.
Her heart stopped again shortly after we arrived.
Oh no.
They haven't given up. They're working on her right now, but
each time her heart stops, her chances of recovering drop significantly. Close my eyes and say a silent prayer. I've never been particularly religious, but it can't hurt. Is it bad that I thought of something else when I heard a silent prayer?
I don't know.
Hold on. That.
Hold on.
Mr. Jenkins?
Chicken.
Mr. Jiggin?
Yes, that's me.
I'm startled by a doctor coming up to us and talking to Rikuyo. Wait. Does that mean that when they're doing it, right? When they're doing it,
Yeah.
does Monica become a chicken jockey?
Oh god.
You didn't answer the question.
Fuck, I don't know, sure.
Okay, cool. We can continue now. I'm startled by a doctor coming up and talking to us and talking to Rikuyo.
Chicken jockey, shut up.
Did I do the doctor? How did I forget immediately? Did I do the doctor?
Oh, we managed to get your wife's heart beating.
Okay, you're
Do it,
doing
like,
the
deep with the-
doctor. You're doing the doctor
Just,
now.
just do it.
Okay.
Alright. I think I did the doctor in the first place. This is the same doctor that's been in the story the entire
that's
time.
true. You transferred. I exhale a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding.
Is she going to be okay? She is alive, but in critical condition. Her body, and especially her heart, are weak from all the trauma she's gone through. We don't know if, or for how long, we can keep her going. She's going to die? That's not certain. She might pull through.
I can hear the unspoken but in his voice. He doesn't think she will.
Can Can we see her? Yes, you can. That's what I came out to tell you. Where is she? I want to go. Slow down. I need to explain a few things before any of you go into the CICU. First, and this is most important, she can only have one visitor at a time. The rest of you will need to stay out here in the CICU waiting room. I would suggest working out some kind of schedule rotation among yourselves. Second, please don't shout or make loud noises while you are in there with her. The last thing she needs is any kind of shock. Feel free to talk to her, but do so calmly and quietly. Finally, be aware that she isn't conscious and isn't likely to regain consciousness for quite some time, even if she does recover. She has brain activity, so there is the possibility that she might hear what you say to her. Just don't expect her to respond. Do you understand everything I've told you?
Yeah, we're not really going in to visit Monica. We're being given a chance to say our goodbyes to her.
Yeah, I think I do.
Damn. Sounds like Rakuyo has caught on to what the doctor is really saying as well.
Okay then. She's in CICU 8, right through the doors over there. The first visitor can go in whenever they're ready. Do you have any more questions for me? No, not right now. Thank you, Doctor.
The doctor nods and then goes through the door into the CICU. We all look at each other uncertainly. Family before friends. One of you should go first.
I was able to talk to her a bit in the ambulance. You can go in first if you want, Chris. Really? Yeah. Just remember what he said about being quiet. I know how loud he can get when you're upset. Thanks, Dad. I'll be careful.
This mod has some balls if it's actually gonna kill off Monica. Jean and Rakuyo sit down on some chairs. I sit down on the couch nearby. How are you holding up, Rakuyo?
My wife is dying. I can tell the doctor doesn't think she'll make it. It'll be a miracle if she lives.
Sometimes miracles happen. That's true. Jean being able to walk is proof of that. I look down at my abdomen where my uterus should be, but more often they don't.
I knew she was under a ton of stress. Her job, bills, Chris. That's why I wanted to have this birthday party. I thought spending time with friends would help her to relax and unwind. I knew if she had it at our place, she would be less likely to leave to do one little thing on that damn project she's been working on. But it pushed her body over the edge.
Hey, you can't blame yourself.
It sounds like this would have happened even without the party. Maybe.
He leans back and starts thinking. I yawn. Wow, suddenly I'm exhausted. The adrenaline must be wearing off. In hindsight, I'm surprised it lasted this long. I wonder when Sayori will get here. Now. I wake up lying on the couch in the waiting room where I had apparently fallen asleep. My back is sore from sleeping on a couch that is way too short for me to stretch my legs out on.
Oh, you awake? Sorry, I didn't mean to fall asleep like that. You were really out, so we just let you rest. We figured you needed it after what you did this morning. Apparently I did.
I stand up and stretch. My back pops loudly and begins to feel a little better.
Thank you for that, by the way, for what you did for Mom. What's happened to her?
Chris just shakes her head and walks away. I suppose that's my answer. Looking around, I see that Sayori, Lucas, and Violet are now here, talking with Rakuyo. I take a quick look at the clock. I was asleep for quite a few hours. Jean comes up to me.
I'm guessing Monica hasn't recovered yet.
The good news is that her condition is unchanged. That's also the bad news. We've been holding a vigil. Someone stays with Monica, either talking with her Or just watching her while the rest of us wait out here? Natsuki just went in a little ago.
God!
Morning, sleepyhead.
It's afternoon.
I don't give a shit. The others were telling me how you're a real hero today. I'm amazed at you.
Sayori is interrupted by Natsuki bursting out of the CICU, who doesn't say a word and makes a quick beeline towards the exit. God fucking damn it. That fucking sliver! That fucking sliver is all we get! That's it. Monica just passed away. Ko's eyes get wide as he walks quietly into CICU. He's obviously thinking the same thing.
Keep an eye on Rikuyo. I'm going to check on Natsuki.
Wait.
Natsuki, wait!
She doesn't turn around, even though it's impossible for her not to hear me. I begin running. Too old for this.
Natsuki!
I catch up with her and grab her on her shoulder. It's the first we've seen her
Natsuki, what happened?
in fucking years. Nothing. Monica hasn't changed.
Then what?
I'm sorry, I can't handle. I'm going home. She breaks free of my grip and quickly walks away. I start to go after her, but she calls back without turning around and I stop. Better hurry up and go say goodbye to Monica while you can. She doesn't have long to live. She turns the corner and vanishes from my sight. Start walking back to the CICU waiting room. When I return, I see that Rikuyo is still gone, and everyone else is concerned about what just happened.
What happened with Natsuki?
Is Mom okay? Natsuki said your mother's unchanged, Chris.
Then why did she...
I'm not certain. She said
Monica doesn't have long to live.
she was going home.
Kuyo comes out of the CICU doors.
Monica's in the same condition she's been in since this morning.
I can't believe we see fucking Natsuki for like 10 seconds. That is the most Natsuki we've seen in like over half of this mod. This is insane. I'm pissed. We can all hear the relief in his voice.
Is it okay if I go in again?
Yeah, go.
Chris hurries through the CICU doors while Rikuyo goes and sits down next to Jean and Lucas. I collapse into a chair.
You okay?
Glance towards Rikuyo, but he's busy talking with John and Lucas.
Normally I would say I feel like I could have a heart attack. But I don't think it would be a good idea to say that today, even figuratively.
Yeah, probably not.
Seriously though, I'm fine. It's just been a crazy day.
She puts her hand on my arm comfortably and smiles.
Okay then, take it easy. We're all here for each other, not just for Monica. That means you too, of course.
Thank you. I'm still just a little tired
My stomach rumbles.
and hungry.
We've all missed lunch, and it's gonna be dinner soon. I think I'll go get some food for everyone and come back.
That's a good idea.
She stands up, talks with Lucas for a bit, and then heads towards the hospital entrance. Surprised to hear my phone chime a few minutes later. Right in the bus and thinking. I'm sorry for just leaving like that. You deserve better.
I assume you have your reasons.
My mom died the same way.
Aw.
Had a heart attack, ended up in the hospital, waited for her to die.
I never knew. I've always been sound about her.
Happened before we met. I kept thinking she'd wake up, and she didn't. Same thing will probably happen with Monica.
You don't know that. She might still recover.
Natsuki doesn't respond for over a minute. The hospital Mom was at allowed 2 people. It was just Dad and I, so we were always there. Outside the room was this cart. Nurses just kind of stored it there. When Mom started to die, they brought the cart into the room. Turned out, it was full of stuff they needed to try and help her. I thought it was convenient for it to be so close. After she died, they moved the cart down to the far end of the hall. Sometime later, another person started to die. Their room was right next to where the cart had been placed. Again, I saw them rush into the room and bring the cart into it with them. I realized it wasn't a coincidence that the cart was next to Mom's room. The nurses knew she was most likely to die. They were just positioning it near where they thought they would need to be. When I went to visit Monica, I saw a similar cart. It was right next to her door. Means in the entire CICU. Which is nothing but critical patients on the edge of death. She's the most likely to die. So I said one last goodbye and left. That's why I know Monica won't make it. You need to get in there and say goodbye while you can. I'm stunned, but her behavior makes sense now.
Thank you for telling me all that. I'm sorry to remind you so much of your mother's death.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. Stay with Monica's family as much as you can. They're gonna need support through this.
Oh well, Jean, Sayori, and Lucas will help too.
Yeah, kind of. No,
What was it?
Sayo will need your support too. Sorry, I was responding to chat earlier.
Oh, okay.
I've always said you've got a big heart, Yuri. They're gonna need that. But you're also strong. You've always been someone I can lean against, both figuratively and literally. They're gonna need that when she goes.
I'll try.
You will. I know you. You're always there to support friends.
Thank you.
Approaching transfer for next bus. Gotta go.
Bye, Natsuki. I'll keep you posted.
Thanks. Talk to you later. I put my phone away and think for a while on what Natsuki told me. Still thinking about it when Chris comes back.
She's definitely the same. Still the same. Did somebody else want to take a shift? I'll go. I haven't been in to see her yet.
I enter Monica's room to the sounds of various monitors beeping her condition. Natsuki was unfortunately right. cart full of supplies that I normally wouldn't have looked at twice was sitting right outside her door.
Hello, Monica. It's me, Yuri.
I feel a little silly saying hello to her when I know this is probably goodbye. Besides, I'm not certain if she can hear me. The doctor said he didn't even know, only that she did have some brain activity.
I don't know if this is goodbye or not. I hope it isn't. But if this is my last chance to talk to you, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for handing me that flyer and inviting me into the literature club. I admit I was a little afraid it would turn out to be a prank at first. What else could it be when the most popular girl in school extends an invitation to an oversized bookworm who cuts herself like me? But it turned out you were sincere. And from that I became friends with not only you, but Sayori and Natsuki as well. At the time, I couldn't conceive how much of an impact it would have on my entire life. But here we are, still together after all this time.
I start to cry.
Even though this might be our final goodbye. I would guess you've heard this from everyone else, but if you can hear me, please wake up.
I stand there, silent, but there's no response except for the beeping monitors.
There are times I wish life behaved like a story. You would have woken up right then in a dramatic fashion so we could all live happily ever after.
I sigh.
Since you're not going to wake up for me right now, how about I read to you for a while? That way, if you can hear me, it'll give your mind something to come back to.
I pull my book out of my purse.
This isn't my usual fare, it's one of Sean's, and I'm already over 100 pages into it. But I don't think that really matters to you right now.
I open the book and remove my bookmark.
The next few weeks went surprisingly well. Despite the found Noel de Beckel, Blue Shell and Greenstock were still willing to fly the rescue.
It's 2 days later, and the vigil continues. The doctor tries to sound encouraging by saying that Monica's heartbeat sounds steadier. Can't tell myself from the monitors, but at least it hasn't stopped again. Despite that, I've noticed he hasn't once said when she recovers, but still says if. Also, that cursed cart hasn't moved once from its position in front of Monica's room. Haven't told the others about what it means. I don't want to take away what little hope any of us have. Chris and Rikuyo refuse to leave the hospital, and I refuse to leave them here alone. Kiko arrived last night and has been staying here too. I've gotten used to camping out in the waiting room. We're not even the only family doing so. I should be going to work later this morning, but I called in yesterday explaining to the owners what was going on with my sister. I know I'm leaving the store in the lurch, but as one of the managers, it really does need me. However, right now, I don't care. My family needs me more right now. Besides, I've worked there so long and rarely miss work like this. So hopefully the store owners understand just how important this is to me. Jean frequently goes home to take care of Markov and then comes back to keep us supplied with food and books. We have nothing but time while we wait, even while on shift, so I've been going through books faster than usual. I've also been doing a lot of writing again. Lucas took Violet home that first night, but they came back to visit again yesterday. Sayori went home last night so she wouldn't miss work today, but said she would come back this evening. The CICU door opens, and as always, I look up to see if it's news of Monica. Kiko comes out with that same glum expression that we have when coming out here. If Monica died, she'd be crying. If awake, she'd be smiling. But that looks means that nothing has changed yet. I need to go to the bathroom break. Who wants to take over? I look over at Chris and Rikuyo sleeping on the floor.
They need to sleep. I'll go in.
Okay, thanks, Yuri. I make my way towards the CICU doors. Akiko stops me. I wanted to personally thank you.
For what?
How can you ask that? You and Jean have been making certain Dad and Chris at least eat and sleep. They also told me about how you saved Mom by taking charge and performing CPR. I look towards the CICU doors.
It's still too soon to say that I actually saved her.
She hugs me. If nothing else, you kept her alive long enough for me to visit with her. That means a lot to me. Honestly, I'm thinking about taking a CPR class myself because of it.
Did you know that Monica's the one who inspired me to learn CPR? In high school, I watched her use it to save Sayori's life.
Did she drown? I look at Akiko questioningly. Mom said she used to work as a lifeguard during summer back in high school. So that's why Monica knew CPR back then. I had occasionally wondered but never bothered to ask.
No, Sayori didn't drown.
I feel uncomfortable telling her that Sayori attempted suicide.
She had an accident and stopped breathing.
I didn't know.
It was a long time ago.
Well, I still really need to use the bathroom, so I'll let you go. As I pass through the CICU doors, I question the point of this vigil. It is something that's gone through my mind occasionally the past couple of days. I know logically that our being here isn't actually helping Monica, but it is helping Rikuyo, so I help them keep it. I wonder how long we'll do this. I can't skip work too much. As I approach Monica's room, I see that the cart is missing. Her heart stopped again. I hurry into Monica's room and am relieved to see that she's unchanged. She's still unconscious, no alarms going off, no nurses and doctors rushing to save her. Looking out the door, I see the cart has moved and is now in front of a room a couple doors down the hallway. That means the nurses don't think she's the most critical patient in the CICU right now. It's not much, but for the first time in days, I feel hopeful that Monica might actually recover from this. I guess we'll find out.
Year 37, here we go. Was that like 4 years left?
37? I think roughly, yes.
You said there's like an extra chapter at the end of year 40, right?
I believe.
Okay, alrighty.
Another day, another lunch break.
Hey Yuri, I hope you weren't planning on oolong tea again today. We're out.
Our supplier still hasn't been able to deliver any.
It's that drought in Asia last year. Things haven't really recovered. But we still have other teas. Though I'm certain that Star Trek Club will finish off the Earl Grey when they come in Thursday.
That bad?
Yeah, I'm just glad we still get coffee beans. While we do good with tea, coffee is the big seller.
Not really fond of coffee. What tea do you have left?
All the herbals, of course. Those are grown locally.
Not really in the mood for herbal tea.
How about matcha tea?
Yeah, I can still make you a matcha tea.
I'll have that today.
Coming right up.
I pay for my
Hey,
drink.
buddy, you have that blue pill that I have, or that I need.
Sure. Aren't you a little young for that?
Oh, god dang it, for how it went.
No, it's for my friend.
Oh, was it?
You're supposed to say, no, it's for my friend.
No, it's for my friend, you see, you dig.
Oh, okay then. Here's your pill. Have fun.
I love that the little stupid things that occur with that voice are just because my voice breaks when doing that voice. It's lovely.
That's what makes it good.
It means I'm consistent with the voice. I pay for my drink, and a little while later he hands me my cup. I go and sit down and eat my lunch and message my friends.
This happens every Thanksgiving.
Every Thanksgiving, yeah. But
Just
he's
Ricky
shorted.
comes in and asks for a pill.
Oh yeah, well that's how he gets his turkey.
The tea shortage is starting to affect the bookstore.
Uh-oh. Pretty sure Yuri not having tea is a sign the world is ending. Imagine the fucking...
LOL.
Imagine the fucking mod ends with with the world ending. Also, I'm glad that Monica saying LOL is the confirmation we get that she's still alive. That's awesome.
Yep, she pulled through. Heck yeah.
She pulled through specifically so that she could say LOL to this conversation. She's
LOL.
going to die immediately after. Although it took a while, Monica did recover from her heart attack last year. She's been trying to relax more and lower her stress level. I'm not certain how well it's actually been working.
You laugh now, Monica, but wait till there's a coffee shortage.
That would never happen.
I've already cut way back on a coffee. Doctor's orders.
Yeah, she doesn't need to have any heart conditions anymore. The next sign. I'm telling you.
Last is you claiming Monica isn't literature, and that's key, and then the rain of fire.
I think we're
safe on that one, Dan.
I agree, Yuri. Yeah. Hey, does anyone know how Meredith's ultrasound went?
Oh my
Meredith
God,
is
Meredith's
pregnant
again.
again. Due in October.
It's going to be a girl this time. Have they picked out a name yet? Sayori didn't know when I talked to her the other day.
What are they gonna name the baby? Hey, Sayori, I suggest that you name it Natsuki or Natalie. Suggest that to your daughter. For me.
Still haven't given up on that, Natsuki?
Nah.
Tried to, but the game didn't let us.
Listen, the closest I ever got was with Yuri, and her fucking kid died. Sorry, Yuri.
It's okay. I don't think Sayori's in the group chat right now.
What? No problem. She'll see it when she gets off work tonight.
Fortnite.
I love Fortnite.
There it is. It'll be later. She's coming here so I can help her dye her hair.
Dye
gonna dye
my
her hair.
hair? Why am I dyeing my hair?
Sayori dyes her hair. We both have for some time.
You don't say, Monica.
You don't say. I never knew. You should join us, Yuri. You're getting pretty gray.
That's fucked up.
That's freaked up, Monica. I don't want to change my hair color. You don't have to. We can help it get back to what it originally was.
I think you should, Yuri. Some women look fine in gray, but you're not one of them.
It's so long now. I think it would make such a mess.
Yuri, look at me. No one fucking cares. Do it.
Your hair is about as long as Sayori's, and with some extra towels, hers is no problem. Pick up at least 3 dye bottles you think it fits your natural hair color, and come over after work. It'll be fun.
Well, I'm not certain about dyeing my hair. Spending time with Monica and Sayori after work does sound fun.
Do you have anything special planned tonight?
Of course not, my love. We don't do shit. We never do. Do you have something in mind?
The girls want to get together and dye my hair.
It isn't that I need Jean's permission to spend time with friends. I just want to make certain he wasn't going to surprise me with a date tonight. I love that this is 100. I love that this is 100% the mod creator being like, guys, I promise you, this is not what's going on. He still does that from time to time.
I think just to get him out of the house.
I suggest a bright orange.
Covering cripple.
Yes. I suggest a bright orange with green polka dots. Or you could go red. You could be the redhead girl.
Red-haired Yuri would be not optimal.
But then you could be exactly like Lucas. It'd be funny.
Be like who?
Lucas.
Ugh.
Seriously though,
Let me see.
have fun.
The red-haired girl. God dang it.
I'll just have leftovers.
Okay, I'll see you when I get home.
Waiting.
Waiting? Uh-oh. Oh, good.
Looking forward to see the new look.
Sure, I don't have anything going on this evening.
Damn it, I'm gonna miss out again, just like every other time.
Are you ever going to get a car, Natsuki?
It's not my fault.
You always miss out on stuff because you're so far away and taking bus doesn't help.
No, I miss out because I got written out of the mod. Plus, I'd rather spend my money on other things.
Dude, I am not ever going to ride a bus for my lifetime. I am getting a car.
Besides, even if I did have a car, it'd still be too late for me.
Would it still be too late for you? When will it ever be too late?
My sleep schedule?
Oh yeah, I forgot about your sleep schedule.
Yeah, you did. Besides, I got my hair dyed last week. I don't need it again. I'm not like Hamari, who chose to accept the gray.
That surprises me. I would have thought she wouldn't like having gray hair.
Even though her hair's short, she said it wasn't too much bother. Too much bother. She's very lazy.
Bother.
Though she helps me dye mine when we're together.
Did you go with the blue again?
Yeah, I like it.
I think it looks nice, Natsuki. It blends with your natural color to give it some nice lavender tones. I think you're biased, Yuri, lol.
Biased?
I like other colors.
Yeah. Purple, lilac, amethyst, violet, mauve.
I'm not that bad.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are, Yuri. You really are.
Yeah, okay, I'll lay off. I get no further replies as I finish my lunch. Later that day, I'm pulling books from the shelves for online orders. One of the owner's sons set us up with a website a couple of decades ago. Allows people to reserve books and pick them up at the register. I'm not certain if it's practical for a store like ours. Most of our customers prefer to browse in person. Still, we usually get a couple orders a day, so it's not a terrible idea. And getting the books off the shelf or from the back doesn't take much time. The store is mostly empty now anyways.
Alright.
You want this?
Okay. Wait. Your idea is to ask the book lady for ideas?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trust me, I know her well.
She's super nice, and she knows a lot more than just books. Hey, Yuri, do you have a minute?
Oh shit.
Who the frick is these guys?
Okay, I should have done a different voice. You know what?
Okay.
I think you're gonna like the voice I give to one of these characters.
Okay, alright. Who's the familiar voice? Oh, it's Violet.
Yeah. I turn around and I'm pleased to see Violet with two of her classmates. I've seen both of them many times in the store before. The blonde-haired girl is named Amy, I think? She likes horror novels, and I've given her recommendations on books before. While a frequent customer, the boy rarely talks, so I don't know his name. However, he usually buys military and spy thriller books when he comes in. You're confused again?
Hey, Violet. It's Sayori's daughter.
Yeah,
she looks like her.
This is Sayori's daughter, not Sayori. It's fine.
Yeah. Salvato High is at the school, what they call it. They haven't changed schools. So they're wearing the same uniforms.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
School's already
out for the day. Oh, did you want to voice her as Sayori, or did you want me to keep voicing her?
You can keep voicing her. Voice her how you would voice Sayori.
School's already out for the day.
I look towards the clock and see that she's right. I'll do fucking Amy, I guess.
I didn't realize it was so late. I just need to find one more book and then take these to the front desk. Would you wait a minute for me? Sure, we're not in a rush.
I quickly collect the last book on the list and put the stack near the register for pickup. Then I turn my attention to Violet and her friends. Fortunately, the store isn't particularly busy right now, so I can visit for a bit if that's what she wants.
Thank you for waiting. How can I help?
My name is Amelia. I'm the president of the literature club at Salvato High School.
Ah, okay, I see.
And this is our vice president, Quinn.
Hey.
And it looks like you already know Violet, who is also a member.
And thank
Wait,
you.
even though school's over, shouldn't you all be at your club meeting?
Ever since starting high school, Sayori and Lucas decided that Violet is old enough to go home alone instead of having to come to our house after school. While I do still frequently see her when they visit on game nights, I still miss the daily interactions and hearing about her school day.
This is our club meeting. Sorta.
We're here as part of an official club activity, so it counts.
Talking to me is a club activity? I'm flattered, but I'm just the manager of a bookstore.
Exactly.
Exactly. This is a waste of time. No, Yuri used to be in the literature club with my mom when they were in high school together. So maybe she can give us a fresh perspective.
I didn't know that. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that the book lady was once a member.
I often get called the book lady these days by kids, especially at work. I don't mind, in a way it's kind of fitting.
It's easy to forget that the club goes back over 20 years.
I'm impressed that the club has been continuing from year to year for so long. It only lasted the 1 year when I was in it.
I know she can help us. What do you need help with?
Well, as you can see, there's only 3 of us, and we need 4 to keep our status as an official club.
We had 4 until Lisa moved away last week, and I thought you could help. You should have just asked your mom, Violet. She and Monica were the real recruiters back then.
We've been doing the usual recruitment stuff, handing out flyers, putting up posters. But the few students who have come and checked us out don't stay. They say what we're doing is boring. Last night we all brainstormed ideas to make the club more interesting. And the only one of us that came up with anything was Violet, and her idea was to come talk to you.
I asked Mom what interesting things you guys did, and she described stuff we do now. Things like reading books, then discuss them together, writing poetry or stories and sharing them with each other, things like that. So I thought to ask you and see if you remembered something more. Sorry, but what your mom said is mostly what I remember doing as well. Aww. Mostly. Huh? She said mostly. That's right, you did. So, what other things besides that did you do? Well, we once tried to hold a poetry reading during one of the school festivals. How did it go? We never actually did it. We were forced to cancel because your mom ended up in hospital that day. Was that when Mom... Yeah, it was.
I know Sayori has talked to Violet more about her depression and suicide attempt.
A poetry reading. That might be what we need.
Won't work.
Oh, and why is that?
Kids don't like poems, simple as that. Ah.
But poetry can be fascinating to read.
Quinn's right. If prospective members aren't interested in writing and sharing poems, then they won't be interested in a poetry reading. At the most, some might show up to watch, but they won't join the club.
That's the end of the club, then. If there aren't enough students in the school interested in literature, then there's nothing we can do.
There were never more than 5 of us when I was in it, but I have trouble believing in a school as large as Silverado High that there isn't at least one more student with interest in literature. They probably just don't even realize it.
If anyone's interested in poetry, short stories, or novels, we would have found them by now.
What about manga, diaries, plays, and all the other forms of literature?
Huh?
I think you're looking at literature too narrowly. I admit it's something I did when I first joined. We're getting a bit into literary theory, but an important question I think you need to be asking yourselves is, what is literature? It's books and writing. Manga is writing. It's in a book. Is that literature? Yes. No.
Bro turned into a fucking pig for a second there.
Fucking demon, dude.
He turned into a... He let his demon side out.
No. I'm sticking with this, dude. I'm sticking with it.
Honestly? Yes.
We had quite a few discussions about that particular topic shortly before we became an official club. I admit that I was the last holdout, but eventually was convinced that literature includes almost any form of writing. But anyone interested in manga is almost certain to join the anime club. Does the anime club write manga, or do they just read and discuss it?
Violet and Quinn look at each other questioningly.
I'm not sure.
That was something we tried once, working together to write our own manga. Sayori, MC, and Natsuki did drawing, Monica and I did the dialogue. We all had ideas and input on the story. It wasn't anything great, certainly not publishable, but we had fun working on it.
It certainly would be different. I haven't read of the literature club doing anything like that in the club diary.
Club diary?
You don't know about that? Thought you said you were in the literature club.
It must have been started after my time.
Can't be. Clearly started with the literature club's first president. He really liked keeping diaries. Even started a tradition of keeping a club diary with the president recording important events in it. Continued uninterrupted to this day.
Everyone that was in the club with me graduated at the same time, so the club was disbanded. Your diary writing president must have started a new one up again years later.
As I said, nearly goes back 20 years.
I hate to admit it, but my time in high school was well over 20 years ago. Though it is interesting that someone else had the same idea Monica, our first and only club president, had.
The diary's so long, I haven't read it all, of course. First entry talks about how he was teased and bullied after his ex-friends found out about his diary writing. He was inspired by someone to start a club where people can share the things they've both written and read together without fear of being laughed at.
I didn't know that.
That's why the number one rule of the club is, all styles are valid. He knew people had different styles and preferences, how they like to write or what they like to read. It can be really hard to share something personal and get constructive criticism. It's even harder to share if the way you like to write is looked down on by others.
True.
I remember arguing with Natsuki over our conflicting writing styles when we first started sharing. In hindsight, I'm embarrassed by how narrow-minded I was with her back then.
But there is another way to look at that rule. All styles of literature are valid. And I think that is your solution. Find other literature styles kids are interested in and advertise them. Like, maybe a play?
A play? How is that different from the drama club?
A drama club may perform plays, but you would be writing them. Or write a manga.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. That does sound promising.
It would certainly be different, I suppose. By showing that literature is more than just poems and stories, I think you might be able to generate interest and new members in the club. I think plays and mangas are probably going to be the most appealing to other kids, but don't forget about biographies, essays, diaries, and everything else that can be written. Ugh. Essays. That would drive people away. So what are you talking about?
Unless students need help with them for an assignment.
True. Everything else that can be written? How about story-focused video games?
Video games?
She pauses.
Would that count as literature?
My initial response is no, but I'm hesitant to say so.
I'm not sure. It might make a good topic for discussions, though.
Yeah, it will.
Hey, boss, we got a delivery truck out back.
I look at the clock.
Thanks, I'm on my way. I hate to say this, but I need to go deal with that. We understand.
Thank you for your time. I think your idea of recognizing that literature is more than poems and stories is really what we need.
I hope it helps. I'll let you know. Thanks, Yuri.
Yeah, thanks, Yuri.
Damn, Yuri, you got something caught in your throat?
I thought he was gonna be a freaking nice guy and say thank you, but no.
No, why would he be a nice guy?
You're earbook lady. I'm fine being called either one.
As I start going to the back of the story, I notice them heading towards the manga section. I really hope they manage to get some new members. It would be a shame for the literature club to be disbanded again. After work, I drive up to Monica's house.
Hey Yuri, here to get your hair done with Monica and Sayori? Yes, I am. They're in the upstairs bathroom. Go on in. Thank you.
Yuri. Monica said you were planning on doing this with us.
You're here. I was beginning to worry you weren't going to show. Sorry, after I got off work, I had to walk home to get the car and then go to the store for the hair dye. It took me a while to decide on the color. Let me see. I'm curious what you got.
I hand the bottles over to her.
Dark Amethyst Angel? As I said, I don't really want to change anything. Well, then let me finish up with Sayori and then we'll get you back to your original color.
You're gonna want to take off that nice blouse you're wearing. You don't want to accidentally get it stained.
I look down and consider the situation. Even though it's Monica and Sayori, I will still feel self-conscious going topless around them. Nah, do it. And if I need to leave the bathroom for some reason, I won't be able to. However, I really like this blouse and would hate for it to get ruined. Monica seems to realize my hesitation.
Hold on. Let me get you a spare t-shirt that I don't care about. Thank you. Here you go.
I take the shirt she offers me.
Thank you again. No problem.
I turn around and start unbuttoning my blouse.
So, we were wondering if you had any news about Meredith's pregnancy earlier today, Sayori.
No, just that she's gonna be having a girl.
I think it's so exciting you being a grandmother again, Sayori.
I finish putting on the t-shirt and hang up my blouse over the shower door.
Kiko said she's going out on lots of dates when I asked, but she doesn't have anything close to a steady boyfriend. And Chris. She seems happy with the guy she's living with, but I hope she doesn't get pregnant with him. She's such a slacker and he'd make a horrible husband and father. So I probably won't be one myself anytime soon.
Being a grandmother isn't as great as you might think. I worry a lot about my grandkids, and I hardly get to spend any time with them. I haven't seen David ever since Angela got married.
She got married?
I'm quite surprised by this. Sayori never mentioned it. Though in hindsight, I don't remember hearing anything about David ever since James died.
Yeah, it happened a little over a year after James got killed. I stay in contact with her parents, so at least I get some news through them. Her husband adopted David and seems to be taking good care of him, so I'm glad about that, but I just wish I was part of his life. Things with Meredith's kids aren't any better.
I thought you frequently spoke with Meredith on the phone.
On the phone, yeah, but she's too far for us to visit easily. I've only seen little James in person once, and that was right after he was born. He has no clue who I am. I'm nothing but a random voice on the phone to him.
Okay, Sayori, you're done.
Thanks.
Sit down, Yuri, and I'll do yours next.
Sarah moves off the chair and I take her place. Monica starts unbraiding my hair.
Your situation isn't all that unusual, Sayori. My parents had the same problems with Akiko and Chris before we moved here. And of course, Rikuo's parents have always been too far away to visit frequently. Video chat helped a lot, especially when my kids got older and could recognize them.
What was it? Video chat?
We've also tried to visit as much as we could and them with us, but between money and getting time off at work, it was hard. Rikuo's parents came up with the idea of sending gifts on odd holidays. What do you mean by odd holidays? Shortly after Chris was born, they stopped giving my kids birthday and Christmas gifts. Instead, they sent Thanksgiving gifts.
Thanksgiving gifts?
Yeah, Thanksgiving gifts.
It all ties back to Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving!
Yeah.
They told me that they know if they send a Christmas present that it would just be another random gift my kids got that day. It wouldn't be all that special, especially since my kids see them in person so rarely. But by sending them gifts on Thanksgiving, a holiday that they wouldn't otherwise receive them on, it made them just a bit more memorable. I see that point. That makes sense, I suppose. And instead of birthdays, they came up with the Kiko Day and Chris Day. A random day in the year, not near their birthday or any other major holiday. That was just for them. On that day, either Kiko or Chris would open up a gift that had been shipped to them. Rikuo's parents also would call them on the phone and talk with them about anything they wanted. They would try to make that one day as special as they could for them remotely. Sounds fun for the kids. Sorta. Sometimes the kids wouldn't want to talk to Grandma and Grandpa for long, especially when they were younger. But I think it worked well. Both the Kiko and Chris never forgot Thanksgiving gift grandparents growing up. And now as adults, they have nice memories of them. You should do that, Sayori.
I don't know.
Why not? may not be ideal, but it was better than being a nobody to them.
I can't help but think how much I would like to be even a Thanksgiving gift grandparent. I hate it when I feel
Great
twinges of jealousy towards any of my sisters like this. Thanksgiving!
We're dropping some crazy lore on y'all right now.
I've never fully acknowledged that video on stream before. Or on the channel in general, I don't think.
This is some critical lore y'all are missing out on.
Yeah. Maybe I'll re-upload them on either here or second channel sometime. Ooh, thanks for the raid. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Wait, what happened?
I got a raid. We've
Oh,
been
someone raided you? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and maybe with Meredith's children, but not David.
David?
God.
He has a new father, new grandparents. There's no reason.
There's no reason he can't have more.
What
My
if
sister's
he,
kids ended up with a third set of grandparents after she remarried.
What if he runs into the road in an attempt
my
to
God.
get his ball?
Oh my god. Her second husband's parents just accepted her children as if they were actually related. Monica's right. As I remember, all of your children were quite upset when Lucas's father passed away.
Yeah, even Meredith called them Grandma and Grandpa after spending enough time with them. And she still never referred to Lucas as anything but her stepdad that I know of.
There you go. Get in touch with Angela and let her know you still can be part of David's life if you can.
What if she doesn't want me in his life? She knows I didn't approve of her and James's relationship, and we've never really gotten along.
Knowing you, I'm certain you can make friends with her, and
Monica interrupts me.
even if she doesn't, you need to at least try. This is your grandson we're talking about. If she doesn't want you in her son's life, then you're no worse off than you are now, and you know you did your best. But if you don't at least try, you will regret it for the rest of your life.
Sayori sighs.
You're right. You're completely right. I have enough regrets in my life, and I don't want my grandchildren to be another one.
Another year passes. 38.
3 more years. Here we go.
3 more. We're just counting down now. I sigh as I collect my purse and get ready to go home. It's a couple weeks before Christmas, but business has been picking up and I'm tired. Look out the window and see that it snowed earlier today. I knew I shouldn't have walked to work this morning. The weather report said it was going to be cold this evening. But the exercise helps me with my weight, and I wasn't expecting snow. I consider calling Jean now to have him come pick me up, but the snow stopped and I did bring an extra warm coat. As I start to
Violet,
walk
okay.
out the door, I see Violet sitting near the front door watching me.
Violet, what are you doing here? Waiting for you to get off work? Why? Is something the matter? No, I just wanted to talk to you. Well, I just got off work and was getting ready to walk home, but I'm more than happy to visit you if you want. What's on your mind? Not here. How about we talk on the way to your house?
I'm gonna pause for a second. No, unfortunately, Virus Spite does not stream on his own. We just
No,
do
I do-
occasional special streams together.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Continue. Oh, never mind. I'm continuing. I look at her
Yeah, you're
questioningly.
continuing.
I should have.
Sure.
I should have fucking looked before I apologized. Undeserved.
What did you do? It's been a while since I've had the chance to talk to you one-on-one like this. Yeah, it has. How are things going for you at school? Fine. My grades are okay. I have good friends. No one bullies me. I'm still active in the literature club, of course, which is doing well. How has writing a play been going? It's been a fun project for all of us in the club. There's even talk of the drama club performing it this spring if we can finish it up in time. And assuming the teachers approve of the content. Don't tell me you're writing a sex scene or something. No.
Wait.
There is a suicide attempt.
Wait.
Some of us actually wanted the character to succeed and die. It would make the ending bittersweet.
Are they writing DDLC?
Oh my god. But they got outvoted, so she gets saved at the last minute by her friends. You're worried the teachers won't approve of that? We all are, to be honest, but everyone agrees it's essential to the story. No guarantees it'll work, but if you do have problems with it, then you might try pointing out that Romeo and Juliet has 2 suicides in it. Actual suicides, just not the attempts. I know, it's how I convinced the others to write it in the first place. But let's be honest, all anyone ever remembers is, "Oh, Romeo, Romeo, where art for thou, Romeo?" and forgets everything after that. Even when studying Shakespeare in English, no one really pays attention to Romeo and Juliet. It's the only reason they even perform it in schools. I think it's more the fact it's classic and so is grandfathered in myself. Yes, there is that too, I suppose. But it is up to your club if you all want to add controversial content to the play, and accept the possibility that the drama teacher won't allow it.
She looks down, obviously frustrated.
Even if they do, you might try running it by the community theater. We had been thinking about that, actually. Even if they are willing to do it, and that's a big if. We'd prefer to show it off to the school, though. Still, we need to finish it before we can worry too much about it being a success or not. Are you all having fun running it? Well, yeah. Then don't worry so much about how it's received. For me, the joy of writing, of creating something, is its own reward. Yes, it's nice when other people appreciate it, but there will always be people who dislike something no matter how good it is. And I've found if I try to write what I think others like, I just end up with something I hate myself. That doesn't really sound very professional. It isn't, and I admit if it was a professional author that needed to worry about publishing, I would likely have a different opinion. But I'm not, so I don't. It's one reason I've never attempted to publish any of my writing, or even really share it. You still write? Sometimes. It has always been a way for me to express myself. Express yourself. Even though you don't share your writing. As I said, writing is its own reward.
The conversation dies away. I'm glad I got to read like one line throughout that. That's great. Violet looks down, lost in thought. Look at her wondering what's on her mind. There's obviously something she wants to talk to me about besides what the club is currently doing. From the way she's acting, it must be serious, though I can't think of what that might be. If it was too serious, I assume she would bring it up with her parents instead of me.
Yuri? Yes? How do you let a guy know you like them?
I'm so shocked by the question I skid in the snow and nearly fall.
Oh god!
Yuri dies.
Are you okay? Yes, sorry. I just lost my footing a bit.
Why is she asking me that of all people? I have never been known as someone to go to for dating advice.
Is there someone at school you're interested in?
Her blush speaks volumes.
I have no problem with you coming to me with things like this, but your mother would be a better person to ask. I never dated in high school, and your mother's the only one of my friends that had a serious boyfriend back then. I did try to talk to Mom about it, but when I asked what she did the first time she confessed her love to someone, she shut down. She said she made a complete mess of things, and it was obvious that she didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah. We all know how that went in the first part.
Yeah, yeah. Or
I'm not surprised. It was
guess-
with MC, your brothers and sisters' father.
I was gonna say, or the last part of the other, but no, it would have been the first parts of both streams.
It really is both. It really is both.
It would have been
This is kind of a
both.
sore topic.
That's awesome.
Also, it happened right before her suicide attempt.
It may or may not have been the cause of it.
So she probably has some very mixed feelings about it. Oh, that makes sense. You really never dated in high school? I know it may be hard to believe, but I was shy and a little introverted even back then.
Yeah.
A little introverted? I've known you all my whole life, Yuri, and you've never been the most outgoing person in the world. Which is why I feel like I'm not the best person to ask about this. But I feel so shy and awkward around him. I can barely get a word out.
Is it Pigman?
So I thought maybe you could tell me what you did, since you're always that way around new people.
Big man,
I better not be
Pigman.
Pigman. Better not be Pigman. In high school, I hid. I had crushes, of course, but never was able to talk to them, much less confess. Did you wait for them to ask you out? Sort of. Naturally, I wish they would, but they never did. And honestly, if any of them had, I probably would have been too shy and embarrassed to accept. What about Sean? We didn't go to high school together. He grew up quite a ways from here. We met years later, well after high school. After college, even. Was it easier then?
I think for a bit.
Yes, but only because it was something I'd spent years working on. Best advice I have to say is try to talk to him as a friend, nothing more. But how do I tell him I love him by talking to him as nothing more than a friend? You don't.
She looks at me incredulously.
I can't believe you are telling me to ignore my feelings and not date. I'm sorry, that wasn't what I was trying to say. Talk to him as just a friend. Get to know him as just a friend. Actually be his friend. You may find he's someone you don't really want as a boyfriend. But more likely you will become more comfortable with him and be able to talk to him better. And your friendship will be a good foundation to build a romantic relationship on. Is that what you did with Jean?
Think back to when I first started dating Jean. I also remember Sayori and MC being childhood friends before they became a couple.
No. He asked me out on the first date just a few days after we actually met. I was so nervous I could barely say yes. But he quickly became my best friend, and still is. Don't get me wrong. Romance and intimacy is an important part of our relationship. I enjoy going out on dates with them, and we still do date, even though we're married, but you can't do that every day. Most days we're doing chores together, talking about our day, sharing our interests. The kind of things you want to do with your best friend. So, just be his friend. Yes, find out if he's someone you actually like. Well, of course I like him, that's why I want to date him. No, you know you like him, but do you like him? After all, you can be physically attracted towards someone that is mean or otherwise a complete jerk. It happens all the time. How well do you know him? Not very well. There you go. I suppose it is unrealistic for me to go up to him, pour my heart out, and immediately be in a stable relationship. It does happen. Sean and I only knew each other a couple of days before our first date. We were engaged about 2 months later and married 4 months after that.
I still think it's crazy that, like, nothing bad happened out of that.
I know. But remember that getting into a romantic relationship is just the beginning, not the end goal. Except I still need to go up to him, try to become friends with him, and get to know him. How do I introduce myself to him?
I sigh.
I'm sorry, but I don't have any answers for you there. That is a question I've asked myself many times in my life.
It's a good thing you never had children of your own, since you're useless at guiding them through life.
I was hoping that suggesting you would talk to him, and just as you would, even if you weren't romantically interested in him, would be enough. That you could then just say whatever it is people say when they want to be friends with someone. I know that isn't the answer you're looking for, but it's the best I have to give. That's okay, Yuri. I appreciate you trying. And you have given me a lot to think about. And I appreciate you being willing to talk to me about this. Guess I'll head home.
I open the gate to my house.
You should come inside. It's starting to snow again. I can walk home. I've done it lots of times before. Violet, I'm not letting you walk home right now. Although it's not late, it's already dark because of the solstice and it's starting to snow again. I'll get you warmed up and then I'll drive you home if your mom can pick you up on your way home from work.
She rubs her arms a bit.
Okay, it is pretty cold and I didn't bring a coat this morning. I'm glad you at least have pants and a hoodie. You'd be freezing with just your school uniform, skirt, and jacket.
As I enter my house, I hear Jean cooking in the kitchen. Call out to him.
I'm home, and Violet is here too.
Alright, dinner's almost done. I go in the kitchen and see that Jean cooked some steamed rice and vegetables. Guess I'll be
It's just like
sticking
every
with my
now and then the
diet
stubble
tonight.
like is freaking like gone the next and just,
Sometimes.
and just there.
It's when he feels like it. The conversation I had with Violet on the way home reminded me how lucky I am to have met him. I don't remember him saying anything special to me, nor to him when we met. Doesn't matter anyway. Whether skill, chance, or fate, I'm happy we're together now. Did she ever figure out that they did meet before? Did she learn that?
Yeah, that was like whenever they were like the lakeside, remember? Like
Oh, okay.
yeah, she shared with that they actually did know each other. Have I told you today how much I love you?
No, you haven't. He smiles, turns around, and kisses me on the lips. You just did?
Oh God.
I squeal a bit as he reaches down and gooses me on the rear. Can you?
I'm not squealing. Frick that.
Can you do a pig squeal for me, please?
Okay, hold on.
Please. Perfect.
I don't know. It's the best one I can do.
He likes doing that, and honestly, I enjoy it as well.
Jeez, you two, get a room.
I blush a little.
Did you want to eat dinner with us, Violet? Sure, though I should probably call Dad and let him know where I am. He should be getting home anytime now. Good idea.
You know how formal we are here. Just serve yourself when you're ready to eat.
I will.
She pulls out her phone. I get down 3 plates from the cupboard. Hand one to John, set another on the counter for Violet, and put a scoop of rice on the third for myself. Then I put some of the steamed broccoli, carrots, and peas on the plate as well. Completely tasteless. Ugh. At least it's wholesome. Just like our content. Definitely. While Jean serves himself, and I go to the refrigerator and get out some hot sauce and put on the rice. It'll help give it some flavor. Look down and see Markov looking up at me.
Go eat your kibble.
He only wants my food because it's mine. Honestly, if I suspect I offered it to him, he would probably take a couple of sniffs then go to his bowl even without the hot sauce. I think his dog food has more flavor than this. I go into the living room with my plate and sit down on the couch. Jean comes out with his plate and sits down next to me. I'm curious, is there a reason Violet came here instead of going home tonight?
Look out the window!
I don't see your point.
Do you see how it's all freaking dark and white out there? No, you can't see that. No, of course you can't because it's freaking obscuring the freaking vision.
Dark and white seem to be two separate things. How can it be white and also dark?
God damn it. We'll continue this later on. She wanted to talk to me after work, and then we got here. I insisted she come in because of the weather.
He looks out the window at the snow. It's coming down even harder now. Oh yeah, I see it now. If this keeps up, they'll probably cancel school tomorrow. Great idea. I know it's only a couple of miles.
Couple miles?
But I wouldn't want her walking home like this. What did she want to talk to you about?
Girl stuff.
He looks at me questioningly for a bit and then shrugs his shoulders and takes a bite of food. Violet walks in with a plate of rice and vegetables.
Dad's home, and I let him know where I was. He said he'd let Mom know so she can pick me up on her way home, but it'll be about an hour until she gets off work. It also might take her longer than usual to get home if the roads get bad. Should be done getting home, to be honest. Like, they should be releasing people from work.
But that's not how it goes. Now is it?
I guess not.
You're welcome to stay as long as it takes.
You can even stay the night in the spare room if necessary.
I'm not certain
Not
if
say
I
where you
feel
get to stay
comfortable
the night at
driving
work.
Violet home and back in the weather. Feel like playing a board game or card game, Violet. Why did I say
After
it
your
weird?
homework, of course. I don't have any tonight.
Oh, good. I would love to teach both of you the crew. I've just been waiting for a third player. John had been talking about that game ever since he picked it up on sale at the local board game store last week. It's a cooperative game he bought after reading about it online, and it needs at least 3 players. It's a common problem for
lit
us.
Candle. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Point out the lit candle on top of the
Why
wardrobe.
would you put a lit candle on top of a freaking wardrobe or the cabinet, dude?
They're built different. It's that simple.
Like right underneath where the freaking light is.
It provides them a thrill, because if the candle knocks down, then the house has a chance of catching on fire, and that's thrill-seeking.
It's just like why? There's a light right there. It'll just
Why?
like right there. There's no point for it to have it lit at the moment.
Correct. Correct.
Just why?
Because, like I said, if it tips over, the house could catch on fire, and that's thrilling.
It's just to keep their life exciting, then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right.
It's the same
all right,
reason why
all
they
right.
have a Christmas tree in a pot.
Isn't that Charlie? Like
Exciting.
freaking something you see on Charlie Brown.
No. This is better. That's a common problem for us. We've gone through all the good 2-player games we found over the year. And that's not even taking into account the fact that Jean and I play so many board games together that we know each other's preferences and strategy very well. We're both doing good.
Do we have time to finish before Sayori gets here?
I strongly dislike starting a game and having to quit before it's finished. It doesn't take very long, and we'll easily be able to get through it quite a few rounds, even learning. So long as we're careful, we can play while eating as well.
Sure, let's check it out.
As Jean leads with the green 8, I see his hands are shaking. His injury is really bothering him right now. Going good. It's going good. He probably would have gone to bed already if Violet wasn't here giving us a chance to play this game. Violet plays the green 3, a good that completes the task. I read that just completely wrong. I'm
Well, that's
already
fine.
out
I
of
mean,
green
that's kind of a
cards,
mistake, to
so
be
I
honest.
play blue 2 in order to get it out of my hand. He leads with the pink 9. Violet plays the pink 4. Since Jean is winning the trick, I play the pink 3. Yeah, sure. Violet then communicates in-game that the pink 6 is her lowest value pink card left in her hand. Jean thinks for a bit. What numbers were played last trick?
The 9, the 4, and the 3.
He grins and lays down the pink 5. Violet lays down the pink 6. I shake my head and lay down the pink 8. Gah!
No! Sorry.
Well, that's another failure.
There was something I could do. There was nothing I could do. Actually, it was the only pink card I had left.
Why didn't you slow it? I had the chance.
Slow it?
Throw it away on a trick when another color was led. You played a blue card when the green was led a couple tricks ago. I played it under the pink 9 I played last trick.
Throw it away. It's a powerful card that can win.
But by winning the trick, you lost the game. Violet needed to win the pink 6. When you didn't slow it, I assumed Violet had the pink 8 and played accordingly.
Yeah, I only had the pink 7.
I grumble and shake my head. Normally I'm good at picking up new games, but I'm really struggling to wrap my head around this one. Well, I've heard of trick-talking games like Bridge. I've never actually played one before and it doesn't make sense. Why couldn't we be playing Coup? I love Coup and I'm really good at it. People think I'm too honest to bluff, and I often get taken away with it. It's also a fast-paced game with cards that Jean and I can't play together because it requires 3 people. Also, I mostly do my own art, so unfortunately I don't need it. Thank you, though. I hear the front door open. Knock, knock.
I like how every stream there's always someone that tries to recommend John your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I respect it, but I just don't need it.
I just think it's funny to point out.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom. We're in the living room.
Sorry I'm late. The snow is really coming down tonight.
How bad is it?
The highways are still okay as long as you go slow. The side streets are an absolute mess, though.
I'm glad you didn't end up in a snowdrift driving here. You and Violet are more than welcome to stay tonight if you need to.
I appreciate the offer, but I think we'll be fine getting home. Salvato Street has recently been plowed, so if I go the long way past the high school, we won't have any trouble. But we should probably hurry before the snow builds up anymore so I can get your get your things, Vi.
Everything is in my school bag by the door.
Okay, let's go then. Sorry, I had to react to that.
Goodbye. Thanks for visiting.
Thank you again for letting her shelter here from the weather.
It's never a problem.
You know we're always happy to help.
What else are you good for?
I know, and I just want to make certain that you know that we don't take you guys for granted. Oh, are we still on for Christmas Eve?
Yes. Dinner's at 5 and then we'll be watching Hogfather afterwards as usual.
Just a heads up, Edward and Akiko confirmed they'll be able to come this year.
Wonderful. I haven't seen them since their wedding last summer.
After
Oh,
years...
Kiko and... Wait, okay.
Yeah, after years of breaking up and getting back together, Edward and Akiko finally got married to each other. Seems strange to realize that Sayori and Monica are now in-laws of each other. But at the same time, it also seems perfectly natural as well. If he hadn't miscarried, Edward might have married Natsuki instead making you and Sayori family.
That means Monika's family, Natsuki, and even Hamari's coming is going to be quite the Christmas Eve party. It's going to be nice to have everyone here except Meredith and her family.
And of course, James, David, Natsuki.
Natsuki confirmed she's coming? That's really late for her.
She said she'll probably sleep through the entire movie, but that she's coming anyway. Mom, I thought we were leaving.
Oh, yeah, I better get going.
Stay safe. Sayori goes out the front door with Violet. I look down and see that Markov has climbed on the coffee table and is eating my food.
Markov, get down from there. Bad dog. You know better than that.
Markov jumps down off the coffee table with a guilty expression. Even though I'm a little hungry, I had hardly touched it, as even with the hot sauce, it was so bland. Take all our dirty dishes into the kitchen.
It's called freaking shot of a bad cook.
Yeah. I heard that. You think my cooking is so bad. Why don't you cook for a change? Bitch. I throw what Markov didn't eat away and rinse our plates in the sink. I don't get any more for myself. I can afford to skip a meal, and despite how wholesome it is, it tasted terrible. So wholesome does not automatically equal good, which means that we're still in the clear. We can still be good. I put the leftovers away in the refrigerator. I go back to the living room, where I see Jean sitting on the couch. I love the Christmas remix. Don't you? The jingle bells. This is awesome.
Yeah, I hear it. You okay? I saw your injury was starting to act up.
Yeah, I was having a ton of fun playing that game with you two, but I'm very fatigued.
Do you need help getting to the bed?
I see him think about it. That means he does need help, but doesn't want to ask for it.
Come on, give me your arm. I'll help you to the lift.
The lift. He sighs, lets me lift him up, and then leans heavily on me as we go towards the lift. Jean collapses onto the bed. Thank you for the help. I really hate having to use the walker.
Of course, my love. God, I hate saying that.
Yeah, it's fine. I start unbuttoning his shirt. He's too shaky to deal with buttons himself right now.
No.
I'm tempted to try and seduce him right now. But I know that even if his mind wants sex, that his body is not up for it tonight. I don't know what I'd do without you.
I don't know what I'd do without you. Do you realize we've been married for longer than my entire life before our wedding?
Are you fucking kidding me? Have we actually been married that long?
I think so.
What the fuck? He thinks for a bit. You're right. The same will be true for me next year as well.
In some ways, it doesn't seem so long ago.
Finished helping Jean remove his clothes, and then he lays down underneath the covers. I saw you turn the lights off after we came up here. Were you planning on going to bed right now?
Yes, it's been a long day.
I notice him watching me as he lays in bed. I smirk and begin slowly unbuttoning my blouse while giving him the look. His eyes grow wide as I start doing a seductive dance for him as I continue to remove my clothes. One thing about being married together for so long, we are well familiar with what the other finds arousing. And for Yuri, that's strawberries.
Please no, please no, please no.
Hun, It's not that I'm not enjoying this.
Tell me.
I am. But, you know, when my injury acts up, I can't. He looks down embarrassingly down towards his groin. I continue to dance for him while removing the rest of my clothing.
I know, but now you'll be dreaming about this.
I throw my bra across the room, burying my tits at him.
All night. So in the morning, when you're feeling better, you can show me what you dreamt about.
Get me all worked up and expect me to sleep. I smile as I turn out the light and get into my side of the bed to sleep. I may not be young, but I still got it.
Boy. Thank you. You're
You're
39.
39.
3 more years? Yeah, we got 3 more years, actually.
Are you sure 3? I think it's 2. 3 counting this
Because,
one.
like,
I
39,
think.
right? Yeah, it's 3 counting this one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I skip ordering tea and go sit down at an empty table. Been waiting all day for this. Ever since Natsuki told us she found a lump on her breast, we've all been worried about her Natsuki breast cancer arc. No!
Come on.
Today she's supposed to get the results from her doctor and let us know how serious it is. Wish I could have checked my phone earlier, but work has been extremely busy today, so I haven't been able to. Doc says it's a benign tumor. Gonna need surgery to remove it, but it's nothing serious. God, I have to prepare for this fucking voice. Hold on.
Stripe hates doing this voice, by the way.
Great to hear, Nat.
There you go. There's my one Hamari for the night.
Thank goodness.
Yes, that's good news.
I let out a
I
sigh
lost
of
the vodka
relief.
voice.
That's
Indeed,
fine.
I'm quite relieved.
Shortly after I send the text, my phone rings with a voice call from Natsuki. Yo, I'm here, bitch.
Oh, Natsuki, that was a fast response.
Yeah, I was waiting for your text. I knew you'd be on your lunch break around now.
So, it's definitely benign?
Yeah, like I said in the chat, my doctor wants me to have surgery to have it removed, but it's nothing serious. Definitely no radiation or chemo.
You don't know how happy I am to hear that. I've been so worried.
Tell me about it. I was thinking that was completely unfair. I mean, I don't even have any breasts to speak of, not like you. And so for me to get breast cancer, by the way, I still look at your tits. I hope you don't mind.
I suppose.
Okay, cool.
You know that large breasts aren't as fun as media would have you believe.
They're fun to look at, though. Oh yeah, I know, but I heard you complain about back pain over the years. And honestly, while I was a little jealous of your breasts when we were younger, I've been quite fine with my body type for years. I still think yours are hot, though. Don't tell anyone I said that. Still, it just seems like I'd be the least likely out of all of us to get it.
It can really affect anyone.
True that.
How is your father doing, by the way? You haven't said anything more about him being in the hospital since telling us about the lump. Last time I spoke to her, Amari said they were planning to release him soon.
Natsuki sighs. Papa, the lump, seems like life is throwing everything at me right now. I'm so fucking stressed I can barely talk. The doctors at the hospital said he has congestive heart failure. They drained the fluid out of his lungs so he can breathe, and yeah, they did release him.
Oh, good. So he's going to be okay?
I hear Natsuki sniffle as she starts to cry. He's on hospice care.
That means there's no way to cure him, and they're not even gonna try and extend his life. Instead, the only plan is to keep him as comfortable as possible until the end.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. Do you know how long he has?
I love that. I love that the entire rest of this series has been the mod creator dunking on Yuri and throwing every bad thing in her direction, and now everyone else is getting it.
Well, I think it's kind of a message thing, to be honest. Some life, if you're having bad things going on right now, it'll get easier down the road. But if it's the other way around, when you're thinking that you're having a good life, but eventually some bad stuff's gonna happen. The best.
My life has been shit. What are you talking about?
No, well, you saved the company from bankruptcy at least like 3 times.
It's been 6 times now. I don't even work there anymore.
What happened? Is it gone?
No, but they keep contracting me to fix their shit. I work at a different bakery now. Why do they keep contacting me?
See, like I said, you can just be like Natsuki here. Like I said, just sometimes it'll be good. You just have your ups and downs. What matters the most is getting through the storm and braving it until the end.
Yeah, there's definitely ups. Anyways, back to my dad. Before we got off the rails. You know, it's hard to say, but they say a couple weeks at most. You know, he could live longer if he stayed at the hospital where they could keep him drained of fluids. But Papa absolutely refused life support. Because he's a stubborn bitch. And he let everyone know he'd rather die quickly in the comfort of his own home than drag it out hooked up to machines. It's also what he said about me in high school. That's unrelated.
I don't know your father very well, but I can picture him doing that.
So he's at home in his apartment with an oxygen machine and tons of pills.
So, how are you doing with this? I know how much you love him.
Fortunately, I had a ton of vacation time saved up and I am burning it all. Temporarily moved in with him to help care for him as long as necessary. He's not really able to manage his own medication, and as he gets closer to the end, he's gonna become bedbound. The hospice people are really helpful, and they've been teaching me how to care for him, though.
That's good, but it doesn't really answer my question. How are you doing? Losing a parent you love is really difficult. I remember losing my mother. And I know how you lost your mother when you were young, but this is going to be different since you'll be caring for him at home instead of waiting at the hospital. My mother took care of my grandmother when her lung cancer became aggressive. I was only 8 at the time, but I saw much of it. It wasn't quick or painless. She was soon bedbound. My mother had to be with her constantly.
The hospice people told me he's gonna need a lot of help.
I'm gonna go off on a tangent right here. I think the worst thing to experience that with when it comes to like losing people, it's the fact that it hurts more whenever it's sudden than it is like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so too.
Because it's more or less like you don't get to say what you need, and it just happens all of a sudden. And
Yeah.
the regret hits you hard because like if there's stuff like you've been doing before. Like, just, arguing and stuff like that, that's when, you regret all the choices you made, blah, 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 you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it just really hits hardest whenever death is just sudden like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Just
Go
going on a
for
tangent
it.
real quick. It's not just feeding him, giving him his medication, or even changing his diapers. My grandmother got confused. She would scream at mother for cigarettes, even though they were the reason she had lung cancer. Of course, mom couldn't let her have them because of the oxygen tanks. In some ways, it got worse when my grandmother was bedbound, as she would want to get out of bed, even though she was too weak and unsteady to do so. We didn't have hospital beds, so Mom had to be with her constantly to make certain she didn't try to get up. That's the worst thing right there.
Yeah.
Stupid. We didn't have any other family, so it was just Mom and I. Mom couldn't get any sleep because she had to keep an eye on my grandmother, I mean. After school, I would come home and take over for Mom, and she would just crash. But she had to get back up in time for me to go to bed and get a full night's sleep. I remember Mom so often dozing in a chair in my grandmother's bedroom, startling awake every time my grandmother moved or said something. Trying desperately to keep my grandmother from hurting herself as she got more and more confused.
That sounds horrible.
It was a difficult time for us, but it wasn't all bad. There were moments when my grandmother would manage to break through the pain, medications, and dementia, and once again be the kindly woman I'd known all my whole life. When that happened, it was wonderful. She would tell me stories about my family's history and her life. What was it like to grow up during the Great Depression, hear the news about the sneak attack on Pearl Harbor, as she always called it? The amazement of the Apollo 11 landing, the terror of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
She must have seen a lot of history in her life.
It wasn't just the big historical events, she also told me about personal moments in her life. How when she was very young, her twin brother died of pneumonia after their house burned down, and they had to walk miles through the snow to their neighbor's farm.
Okay.
Falling in love with my grandfather, her life with him. Raising my mother and the trouble Mom apparently got into before I was born. Little glimpses of her life that I never even knew about. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic.
It's okay, Yuri.
What I'm trying to say is that I know a bit about what you will be dealing with, and I know this is something you can't do alone. You need someone to take care of you while you take care of him.
My Aunt Nora said she would help if she can.
Good. I'll help too. I'm certain Himori, Sayori, and Monica will as well.
Please don't. And don't tell the others. I don't want you all turning this into a big deal.
Natsuki, your father, your papa is dying. That in and of itself is a big deal. And you are going to need all the help you can get. I know how much you like doing things on your own, but I will not let you face this alone. Unfortunately, with Black Friday coming up, I won't be able to get any time off work soon. But after I get off to work tonight, I'll drive you over with some food for you and help you out.
You know I'm usually asleep then.
Yes, and I can help you out by keeping an eye on your father while you sleep.
He's still pretty self-sufficient.
For now. But if they are talking weeks, he will start going downhill fast. It's best to get your own support system ready now. So tonight, I'll be coming over and bringing both of you dinner. Then we'll work out a schedule so as much of your family as possible will take shifts for you.
I don't know how many of my family can help. Amari has work and...
So do I, but I'll help as much as I can. And you know Monica and Sarah will as well.
Thank you for looking out for me, Yuri.
You would do the same for me.
Yeah, you're right. Even though I've never shown that before. And guess I haven't really thought about what taking care of Papa will be like. With everything going on in my life right now, I've just been dealing with what's right in front of me and not really planning what's ahead. I'm gonna have to plan his funeral, getting him buried next to Mama, figuring out what to do about his apartment's lease. Does he even have a will? And I need to say goodbye. Really goodbye. Not like when I moved out or just after a visit. She begins to cry. Because you're right. Soon, I'm never gonna get to see my Papa again. I hear her burst into tears. I would give almost anything to be able to reach through the phone and give her a hug right now. I just quietly listen to her cry over the phone. I remember when my mom died in the car accident. How hard and difficult it was to deal with alone until Sayori insisted on helping me. And that was mercifully quick, unlike Natsuki's father. After a couple of minutes, Natsuki begins to speak again. Are you still there, Yuri?
Of course.
Did you ever figure out what you wanted to do with your life?
I don't understand.
I was just thinking about some of the conversations we've had over the years, about what we were gonna do with our lives. What, if any, personal purpose we had for ourselves. I remember you at times wondering what kind of legacy you would leave.
Oh, yeah.
With what's happening with Papa, made me start thinking about things like that again. What will he be remembered for? And by extension, me. So, I was wondering, did you ever figure that out?
No, I haven't.
I'm sorry for bringing it up, Yuri. It's just making me a bit self-reflective, I guess.
It's okay. I'm guessing you don't have an answer either.
Not exactly. I realized some time ago it doesn't matter. I enjoy my life, and I don't want to change. So if I'm remembered at all, I'll be as someone who had fun doing what she wanted. Never give a shit about what others thought.
I suppose that works.
Though, I admit I'm questioning that now. But in your case, you should try publishing your writing. I know you don't want it to become a job, but it doesn't have to be. Just keep it as some sort of side gig. You write so much anyway. Natsuki's right about that. As always, my writer's block passed, and I've been writing more normally again.
True, but I have little desire to share my writing. I write more for myself anyways.
It was just a suggestion. I better let you go, Yuri. I know your lunch break is ending soon. I checked the time and see that she's right.
Okay, I'll stop by your father's apartment tonight with some food and spend some time with him while you're asleep.
Thanks.
I know he moved out to your side of town a long time ago, but I never actually been to his new apartment. Can you text me the address later?
Not a problem.
It was a pleasure talking with you, and again, I'm happy you at least don't have cancer.
Me too. And it was nice talking to you again, Yuri. Thanks in advance with the help with Papa.
Of course.
As I hang up the phone, I think
Like
about
how
our
every phone call is always
conversation.
15 minutes with Natsuki.
Yeah. About what I should do with my life. When I was young, I wanted to be a famous author, but now I want more out of life. You want what you can't ever have. Later that day, I'm in the back of the bookstore confirming a shipment. Have a little trouble focusing on what I need to do as my mind keeps wandering back to Natsuki. One of my employees comes up to me.
Hey, boss, we got a customer up in front asking for you specifically.
It's a pretty common occurrence, as many of our regular customers have found out I'm pretty good at suggesting new books. What I'm doing can wait.
Thank you for letting me know. I'll go help them. Oh boy.
As my employee points her out, I see her uniform that she appears to be from Salvado High. School just got out, so this isn't unusual at that hour. However, I don't recognize her as one of our regular customers. I would bet almost anything she was told to ask for the book lady by someone in either the literature or book clubs.
Hello. I was told you were asking for me.
Oh, hi. Are you the book lady? A friend of mine said I should come here and talk to you.
Yep, I was right.
Yeah, my name is Yuri, but many here do call me the book lady.
Not too much.
How may I assist you?
So, I need to write a book report for school.
We obviously have many books here. Were you looking for something specific?
No, the truth is I hate reading. Probably not something I should say here, but it's true.
I'm tempted to yell out blasphemer loudly. However, even if I felt comfortable making that kind of joke with someone I don't know, I would never do so at work.
That's okay. I can help you find something to read for a book report. So, what are the exact requirements of the book that the teacher gave you?
It has to be a full book, no short stories, and definitely no comics or manga.
Dang, I've had other students that dislike reading do book reports on graphic novels and get a good grade out of it. Alright, I need to come up with something else.
Let's see. So, what kind of stories do you like?
As I said, I hate reading.
I'm sorry. Let me clarify. I didn't mean stories in specifically books. I mean stories in any sort of media. Movies, television, video games. These won't work for a book report, of course, but if you tell me what you enjoy, I'll be better able to give you a recommendation. At least find you a good genre such as horror, romance, or science fiction.
I really like that Game of Thrones show.
Of Ice and Fire.
Despite liking the show, I doubt she would want to read any book from A Song in Ice and Fire, since the first one alone is over 1,000 pages long.
Oh my god, is it?
I don't know, I've never read it.
Maybe that's the reason why we don't read it.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you like about that show?
I really liked how deep and real the world seemed.
For a realistic world, it's hard to beat Tolkien, who wrote The Lord of the Rings. The first book, The Fellowship of the Ring, isn't terribly long by itself. It covers the events of the first movie, if you've seen that.
Okay, yeah, that weren't bad movies.
That would be over here in the fantasy section.
I guide her directly to the correct shelf and hand her a copy. See her grimace a little, but she does open it up.
Gilthoniel, O Elbereth, clear are thy eyes and bright thy breath.
She looks at me incredulously.
Tolkien includes poetry and songs in his books. It's why Middle-earth is so deep and real, like you said. Even in the movies.
Yeah, I don't think that's for me.
Not a problem.
I take the book back and put it on the shelf.
What else do you like about the Game of Thrones show?
I like all of the intrigue it has.
Okay, much of that is due to it being based on real-life Wars of the Roses. That occurred in mid-15th century England. The Sune and Splendor is also based on the Wars of the Roses.
I think for a bit.
No, I don't think you'd like that. The Goblin Emperor? No, not that.
It's a great book, but probably too difficult of a read for her.
The Cruel Prince, of course.
Yes, in hindsight, that is an obvious choice. It's a young adult novel in a fantasy world with political intrigue. I search the shelves. Dang, it's not there. Check my tablet to see if we have any in the shipment that just came in. Nope, it's on order, but it won't be delivered until next week.
Sorry, it looks like we're out.
I curse silently to myself. That probably would have been perfect.
What else might you like?
I skim the shelves in the fantasy section, looking for something similar.
Ah, here we go. The Emperor's Soul.
I take the book off the shelf and hand it to her.
Wow, that's a pretty small book.
It's under 200 pages, as I remember. What's called a novella, but it's definitely not a short story or graphic novel, so it should count. I think you'll really like it. Despite how short it is, it's one of my favorites. It's about a thief who was caught trying to steal a scepter and is forced to use her magic to try and heal the Emperor in order to regain her freedom. But what I think you will enjoy most is how the main character manipulates the Imperial Court to survive the situation.
She opens the book and glances through
New
it.
Vegas vibes with Caesar's Legion.
That sounds like it might be interesting. At least I'm not seizing any crazy phrases in it. And I admit it's short enough that I should be able to get through it, even if I don't like it. So I guess I'll take it.
Good. They can ring you up at the front counter. And if you ever need another book suggestion, I hope you'll remember us.
I will. Thank you for the help. I see now why they call you the book lady.
You are very welcome.
Watch her go up to the register and wonder if perhaps this is my legacy, what I'll be remembered for after I'm gone.
The book lady.
To be the book lady, someone who can help anyone find something good to read. It's something, I suppose, but the ideal feels hollow. This is the most your life will ever amount to. I mentally shrug my shoulder and return back to the back of the store to finish verifying the shipment. As I walk in the
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna go empty out my oil can real quick.
Okay, sounds good. How are we doing, chat? We doing good? Take this time to do a little talk. How are we all doing, chat? I am going to try something. I have like fucking I got a sour pickle earlier, and I still had the juice left over, so I was like, fuck it, and I put like I'd put a regular pickle in the sour pickle juice, so now I'm gonna see if that's like good. I taste zero difference. This is the content that you get when you come on my stream. The content you get is me trying pickle reviews. Hold on. I love when I just like get up to reposition and my fucking my fucking model just goes crazy. It's really cool. Hell yes. I'm glad for the WASMR. That's good, that's good. There's still... There you go. A little bubbly for you all. You need some bubblies to keep you awake, you know? Jingle, jingle, jingle. Pop, pop, pop. So, this is not going to be this week's stream, just so we're clear, because I know in the past how I've done it is it's one stream a week, but I've come to realize that makes things go by much slower, specifically with this series right here. So, I'm trying something new out. Instead of once a week, we're going to start doing it twice a week. That's right. You saw the craziest thing earlier. What'd you see? What'd you see earlier? Also, you didn't miss much earlier when you were DMing a weirdo. I think literally it was just like phone conversation and that was it. It wasn't anything special.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. How was your oil change?
I guess it was fine.
Awesome. I tried out a fucking... I got a regular pickle and put it in sour pickle juice, and I tried it on stream. That's literally all I did.
You just ate a pickle. Okay, you just ate a pickle. All right, that's cool. Get some hot Cheetos with that. That'll be great.
I don't fuck with hot Cheetos. I'm sorry.
Ah, damn. You're missing out.
I know. I'm a lot better than I used to be with spice, but I still don't enjoy it.
Ah, okay.
Listening to a person clicking a... Oh. That bitch had him clicker trained. Alright. We're back to DDLC. As I walk into the front door, I'm a little sad that Markov isn't there to greet me. Ever since he died last month, the house has been so much quieter. I was unfortunately waiting for that to happen. The moment the dog showed up and it wasn't close to the end, I was like, God damn it, when's this gonna happen? Damn. It was just old age. We'd had him for over 13 years, and he wasn't a puppy when we got him. We'll probably get another dog at the animal shelter someday, but not yet. Take off my coat and go into the living room. Sean is sitting on the couch, his walker nearby. If he has that nearby, today is a pretty bad day for him. He's been having more and more of those. At least it's not one of his really bad days where he's stuck in bed.
I'm home.
Good to see ya, hun. Did you get any news about Natsuki today?
Yeah, I did.
He sees the look on my face. Oh no, she has breast cancer.
Huh? Oh no.
With everything going on with her father, I'd actually forgotten about her doctor's appointment.
I'm sorry. It turned out the lump was benign. She will have surgery to remove it anyway, but the doctor isn't worried.
That's good. I'm guessing there's more though. I sigh.
Sadly, yes. While Natsuki herself is fine, her father is dying. They said he'd say he only has a couple of weeks, and Natsuki's planning to care for him till he passes away.
Poor Natsuki. Never met her father, but I know how close she is to him. I bet he definitely doesn't look like me. Never.
Quite. While I can't really get time off at work right now, I was planning on helping her as much as I can. Bring her food, help watch her father in the evenings, those kinds of things.
Of course. She's gonna need it. I feel terrible that I didn't make dinner tonight.
It happens.
Yeah, but that usually means waiting for a bit for you to cook. Cooking tonight, and then driving over to the far side of town where Natsuki lives. You won't have much time there before you need to come back home.
That's okay. It won't be a social visit anyway. Natsuki will probably be asleep most of the time I'm there. I'll just pick up some roast chicken on my way. It'll be fast, and the leftover meat can be broken up to make something else. Are you going to be okay, though? You're pretty shaky right now.
I'll be okay. Though, if you could make me a sandwich real quick before you go, I would appreciate it.
Do you need anything else?
No, I can get to bed on my own, fine, with the walker and the lift.
Okay, what kind of sandwich do you want?
Tuna fish. Should have some left over from the other day in the fridge.
Alright then.
I go into the kitchen and get the tuna fish out of the refrigerator. I sit on the counter, but instead of getting the bread, I sit down at the table and lay down, my head down in my arms. So tired, I feel overwhelmed. That's why I couldn't get that bread. Work was busy. Jean isn't doing well today. Natsuki needs help. I'm not as young as I used to be. I don't have the strength and energy to do things like I once could. Being worried about Natsuki possibly having breast cancer this past week hasn't helped either. Wish I could go unwind with a good book for a while and then go to bed. Maybe I should make myself some tea? How selfish. A real friend wouldn't think to do that. Nah, I don't have time. Get up and start making Jean his sandwich. Bring my tea set and some tea with me when I go to Natsuki's father's home. Even if Natsuki is asleep, her father doesn't want any. It'll help me. And I know that while I currently feel overwhelmed, that I won't be alone with helping with Natsuki. John, of course, will help as much as he's able, and I know Monica, Sayori, and Himari will assist as well. Natsuki doesn't need you. Any of them could bring her food tonight. We'll all help and support each other when one of us is in need. Just like we always have, since high school. I guess that's the legacy I'll leave behind. Someone who is always there for our friends. Just like they've always been there for me. Nothing you do matters. Someday, no one will remember you, or care that you ever existed. Remember how sad and lonely you were before joining the literature club? After Jean and your friends die, you'll be left all alone like that again. No. Deny it all you want, but with Jean's injury, Monica's heart, Natsuki's lump, Amara's age, and Sayori's depression, you'll almost certainly survive them all. Your mother cared for your grandfather, Natsuki's caring for her father, you care for Jean. Who will care for you when you're too old to take care of yourself? Meredith? Chris? Kiko? Edward? Violet? Surely one of them. You're not family. Look at Meredith. The only time you've seen her since she got married is when she came for Kiko and Edward's wedding. You didn't even get to visit them. Same is true for Kiko, Edward, and Chris. They already have their own lives that don't include you. Violet will do the same thing after she graduates and leaves for college. No. You start alone, you'll end alone. No. Unloved, forgotten, go away. Wiping away my tears, I finish making Jean's sandwich and take it out to him. Damn.
You're 40.
You're
Here we go.
40. I stand at the entrance to the old high school and look in. Feels strange to be back here after all this time. It's been a long time since I visited it. Stop at the front desk and get a visitor's pass. Seems sad that such things are necessary now because of security concerns. They weren't required when I attended. After getting my pass, I go to the school courtyard and sit down on one of the benches. A bit early, so I pull out my book and begin reading. Hey, book lady.
Oh, hello again.
I know it's been a while, but I saw you and realized I never thanked you for your suggestion on that book. It wasn't bad. I ended up getting a B on my report.
You're very welcome. And if you or any of your friends ever need help finding a book, you know where to find me.
Yeah, I'll remember that. I gotta run though. I'm gonna be late for class. Good seeing ya.
And you as well.
She leaves to go to our class. Check the time on my phone. I'm a little concerned. I was supposed to meet. Just then, I see a dear girl running towards me in the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself.
I'm sorry I'm late. I was starting to get worried. I left my paper in my locker and it's on the far side of the school. Thanks for coming, Yuri. This means a lot to me. Of course. You know I'm always happy to help you. Though I'm still not certain how my being here will help you with your report. Well, because... I'm tardy! We need to hurry. Come on!
She takes my arm and practically drags me through the school at hallway.
Hold on, I'm walking as fast as I can. I'm sorry, Yuri, I'm just a little excited. And can't afford another tardy on my record.
I look at her suspiciously, wondering just how many tardies she has. Hope she's taking school seriously. Violet guides me to a classroom full of students, one of which is standing at the front of the room. Teacher
Like mother,
frowns
like
on
daughter.
seeing Violet come in late.
Violet, I hope you have a very good.
I'm so glad you took over. That's a perfect fucking voice for that. The teacher startles a bit on seeing me.
Oh, what is... sorry I'm late, Mrs. Potter. I had to guide her here for my report. Oh, okay, I understand. And won't mark you as being late this time, but be more careful in the future. I will. Then get a chair for your guest and take your seat. Hop along now. Okay.
Violet gets a chair from the back and sets it near an empty desk and motions for me to sit in it. She then sits down at the desk.
Go ahead and continue, Shady.
The student up front looks at her paper, apparently trying to remember where she stopped before she was interrupted.
In addition, for his fight for racial equality, Martin Luther King Jr. also worked to combat poverty and end the Vietnam War.
I whisper to Violet.
What exactly is going on here? We need to write a report on an influential person and then present it to the class. Okay. Oh, wait. So why am I...
The teacher clears her throat loudly, and I immediately
Ahem.
sit up straight and try to look innocent. It's been 40 years since high school, but I guess some things you never grow out of. I listen quietly as Janie continues her report. I can only assume Violet brought me here to be the subject of her report, though I'm not certain why. I'm not particularly special or influential. I'm just a normal woman who's worked at a bookstore her whole life. Janie continues talking about the civil rights movement for another few minutes before she finishes.
Although I'm not black myself, I'm grateful for people like Martin Luther King for fighting for justice and racial equality. So next time you ride a bus or in a store without concern for the color of your skin, remember that it is only through the efforts of people like him that everyone is able to freely do so.
There's a small round of applause as Janie hands her paper to the teacher and walks back to her desk.
Oh, thank you, Janie. That was very good. I like crappy patties. Can you not tell? Violet, since you're doing your presentation on someone that is actually here, we'll have you go next. Okay, Miss Potter.
She stands up and
I'll
takes
blow it up.
my hand.
That's us. Come on. I'm not certain what I should do. You don't even do anything except stand beside me while I do my presentation.
Violet guides me to the front of the room. I hear some murmuring from the other students. Isn't that the book lady?
Yeah, it is.
Quiet, everyone.
Quiet! Quiet now, everyone! Violet is doing her presentation now. Thanks. Sorry for giggling. This is hard.
She takes a deep breath.
Okay, as you can probably guess, my report today is on the woman most of you know as the book lady. Her real name is Yuri,
I shyly wave hello at the students.
and she works as the morning manager at Dan's Book Den. Anyone that spends any time at all there knows that she has read almost every book worth reading. If you need help looking for a book to do a report on or want something new to read, she can help you find it.
I hear some murmurs of agreement from the class.
Fiction, non-fiction, even graphical novels and comics. She knows it all when it comes to books. I don't know it all. Shh! This is my report. This is stuff many of you, especially those in the literature, book, and anime clubs, already know. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing my report on her today.
I look at her questioningly. Been wondering that myself.
What I doubt anyone else here knows is that she has had a tremendous influence on this school and also in my personal life. things would be very different for all of us without her. And not just because of the book reports either. Yuri is one of the founding members of the literature club. This school has had a literature club for a long time. As its current president, I've gone through the records and found it's been running continually for over 25 years now. But I knew from my mom, it's been here much longer than that. 40 years ago, there was another literature club. The one Yuri was a member of along with my mom and some of their friends.
Thanks for telling everyone how old I am.
They all graduated together, so it apparently ended with them and a completely new one was started later. However, after reading through the club diary, I learned that isn't the case. It turns out that the literature club's second president, the one who started back up again, was inspired to do so by Yuri. It's easy to miss. Near the beginning of the club diary, he wrote how he didn't have any friends at school, and that he was inspired to start the literature club by someone. It isn't until close to the end of the school year that he wrote how grateful he was to the manager of Dan's book den for giving him the idea. Oh, that boy! Remember that boy? Okay.
Yeah.
Which means Yuri was the one who suggested he try restarting it to find people with similar interests as him. He did, and it worked. He not only made friends, but the club grew and became a success.
I suddenly remember years ago telling a student who skipped school because of bullying about the safety and comfort I found in the literature club. Him telling me how it didn't exist, and my advice to him about recreating it. I had just assumed he continued to hide in books. I thought that I hadn't helped him at all, and smile at the realization that I had.
So, in a way, the literature club we have now is a continuation of the original one. And it has continued without cease to this day. But it hasn't been without problems, and when it was at its most vulnerable, Yuri was again the one who saved it. When I was just a freshman, I joined a literature club because of the stories I heard about it from my mom, Yuri, and others. It was a lot of fun, but membership was at its lowest point in its history. Many students in the school at the time thought the club was old and boring, and we suddenly found ourselves with not enough members to remain an official club. The club administrator was threatening to disband us.
I know where she's going with this. It was only a few years ago, so I remember it clearly.
We went to Yuri for advice, and she suggested that we look more closely at our definition of literature. She helped us realize that literature is more than just poems and stories. Doing that not only brought in new members, saving the club, but it's also why the literature club is now known for producing new and interesting forms of writing. Anyone that appreciates the literature club today, or anything it has produced, you have Yuri to thank for it. Last school year, when the drama club showed the call of the news, many of you heard how it was written by us. It was Yuri that gave us the confidence to keep the suicide attempt in it, even though some of the teachers thought it was too controversial at the time.
I had heard that Violet and her friends had finished their play and that the drama club had shown it, but sadly I had not been able to see it.
The character of Lori is actually based off Yuri. That's why their names are so similar.
Wait, you're saying the hero of the play, the one that cuts down Sarah and saves her life at the end, was modeled on the book lady?
Not just modeled on. So far, I've talked about how much she's influenced everyone who's gone to the school for decades, but she has done so much more for my family.
She sighs.
This is a little hard to talk about, but I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for her. And that scene in the play is based on a real-life event. Years ago, my mother attempted suicide by hanging. Yuri cut her down and called for help, thereby saving her life.
If that was a real story, then why did it include such a deus ex machina, such as Lori conveniently having a sharp enough knife in her purse right when she needed it?
Well, because that's how my mom said it happened. that is how it happened.
I reach into my purse and pull out my knife.
This is the exact same knife I used that day.
I notice the look of concern Miss Potter has on her face.
I won't open it right now, partially because I'm afraid of breaking it, partially because I know it could be considered a weapon. But I collected knives back then, and I always kept one on me.
Even to school?
It was a different time. People weren't as concerned about things like that back then. And I also didn't ever take it out of my bag and showed it off either.
I found out the one time remembering I showed it to a friend.
Despite its age, and how worn it's gotten over the years, I continue to keep it with me as I remember it that day.
Put the knife back in my purse.
Though I didn't really save Violet's mother, at least not alone. While I did cut her down, it was our friend Monica who performed CPR until the EMTs came. Really? But you're the one who... Never mind. Where was I?
She checks her paper.
Oh, that's right. Well, never as dramatically, my mom said that Yuri saved her life many times afterwards. Helping her cope with her depression, giving her a safe place to stay after her divorce, comforting her when my brother and sister died. Yuri also saved the life of my sister-in-law's mom. When she had a heart attack, Yuri performed CPR until the EMTs arrived.
She looks to me.
It's why I thought you did CPR on my mom. No, Monica did CPR on your mom. And that is what encouraged me to learn CPR, which in turn led me to save her life when she had her heart attack.
Which reminds me, it's about time for me to renew my CPR training again. I am never letting that lapse.
So, that's at least 2 people's lives she has directly saved. She was also the one who introduced my mom and dad to each other so they could have me. That was really more Sean than me. But without you, that wouldn't have happened.
Okay, she has a point.
Even after I was born, Yuri has been a constant part of my life. Teaching me how to read, playing with me, encouraging me to write, helping with homework, giving me lots of good advice about...
She blushes.
life. After my parents, she has been the single biggest influence in my life. To most people, she is the book lady, source of fine reading material. To a few, she is the secret champion of Salvato's High's literature club. But to me, she is Aunt Yuri. At least, that's how I've always thought of her.
I begin to tear up on hearing those words come out of her mouth. I can't help it.
The person that without, I wouldn't be the young woman I am today if I even existed at all.
As Violet finishes her report, I can't hold back and tightly embrace my niece.
Thank you.
I will never be called Mom. And I know the pain of that won't ever go away. Not completely. But I'm still an important part of my family. My entire family. My nephews and nieces, along with their children, are my legacy. Even the ones I'm not physically related to. I know now that I am not, never have been, and never will be alone. Damn.
Okay, everyone. Are we all ready?
I think so. No, we get one
The
more.
redhead boy, panicked. He senses something touching his posterior. Ah, he says. Someone's touching my butt. What will you do to him? What about you, Sean?
Don't worry, I've got the remote. What happened to your braid, Aunt Yuri?
I decided to not wear it for this.
This isn't gonna work. Some of you need to sit down in the front.
Okay, but hurry up. This ground isn't very comfortable.
There it is. Everyone just wait while I get in position. Who's Jack again?
I think that was James's wife's, or James's son.
Oh. I
We
can't
don't
believe
have a
we're
full
all
front.
here.
There you go. Yes, I'm glad he came here for this. You don't know what it means to me to finally have.
A picture of my family. Damn. Let me just move a little so that you can see. I love we've got another Edward situation down there. And then Virus, I'm going to move you as well so that people can see Natsuki down there. Because she's important. She was barely in this.
I know, exactly.
God. What a fucking ending. I think we're just stuck on this screen until we decide to leave. Understandable.
Might as well leave. Might as well end the stream with the song playing in the background.
Yeah, but after we talk about it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How is your feelings right now, Virus?
We're not gonna lie, that was a fucking good ending.
I agree. It really paid off for everything. You know? It wrapped up all of the arcs in a nice little bow.
It really freaking did. I love that.
I appreciate it. A lot. Also, I like that, unlike a different time in the mod, I'm glad that the fucking literature club shit was set up and had no payoff until practically the end. That was great.
I know,
Enjoyed
exactly.
that.
Thank fucking God. That was freaking awesome.
But, like all good things, and things that are sometimes good and sometimes have sloggy moments, they come to an end. And that is what we have done. Pages of Life, the book is closed. And we are moving on to the next story. But you may ask, what is the next story? What is the next story? Well, let's just say we'll be revisiting a certain state on the western coast in the blistering, irradiated sun, where we will potentially die many, 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 many times. I hope
Dude,
you
if I had
guys
trouble
missed
playing the
Big
first stage-
Mickey.
Alright, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I said, I hope you guys missed Small Mickey. Anyways, you were saying?
Dude, if I struggled so hard on freaking the easiest difficulty, yeah, it's gonna be ruthless.
Oh, unfollow? Yeah.
The first. Yeah.
Yeah, unless we get an absolutely cracked build again, which we probably will.
I don't know how to stat build on that freaking game.
I do. But yeah, that is me confirming that the next special series is Fallout 2. So if you haven't yet, go watch the original Fallout streams. They're some of the funniest we've done, at least in my opinion.
Or just
In
find my
terms of
channel, and
specialist
it's easier.
streams.
It's easier to do that. Just
Oh
like,
shit,
either
yeah,
go
that's right.
on-
I really do need to start tagging you in these things.
Yeah, I don't really have anything posted. I don't post there. I just only have my playlist just for people to go back.
Yeah. So basically, if you go to Virus Bite's channel, if you're only here for Virus Bite, First of all, fuck you. Second of all, you can go to his channel and you can find a playlist specifically of stuff that he's in.
Yeah, there's actually been a decent amount of stuff over the years.
But you still have to deal with me because they're all my videos.
Yeah. We'll figure that out later.
But yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful.
I think we'll have fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun, especially hopefully not get RPG and have our friends all the way in the back and get their asses blasted off by a stray rocket.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to have our faces get melted off by a one-off shot that somehow hit for 100 damage. It's gonna be great. Love that.
Getting tail spinned by a rat, dying after he freaking trips you and you bonk your head into the concrete.
Yeah, that's half the fun of Fallout.
Yeah, exactly.
But that won't be occurring until next week. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to wait for that one. You won't have to wait till next week for the next stream, though, because I will be back at some point this week to play The Sims. And you may say, why? Why The Sims? Simple. It's a nice, fun little stream that can be a one-off and is obscenely chaotic, which I enjoy. So yeah, that's all for tonight. I'll see you all guys next time. The fuck did I just say? Have a good night, and try not to say stupid shit like I do constantly. Good night. You can say
See y'all
good night,
later.
too. Good night.
Good night.
And I'm just gonna end it because I don't feel like pulling up the fucking